them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. Me get up this small, feel you hungry, yeah man. Look and no money just get fire, yeah man. And two things around me would a rap too, man. But I cool me, a easy, yeah man. Now watch no face just a hustle, yeah man. But them politician boy, I get me mad, yeah man. Every day them come out with them so-called master plan. But them plan is the master out to bring down I man. Who have we money give it to the white man. So now parliament I discuss we, yeah man. So them not like yeah the truth was sense we, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. Now the youth them that they get to just a suffer, yeah man. And the politician them just don't give a damn. Government now they don't know you a hear me, yeah man. That's why me have to call me virgin, the Rasta man. Him said yes, I see I just Rastafari, yeah man. Wanna fire pan a
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Billy Blade. Brand new tune called Yeah Man. Got a special one for y'all today. Special show, special convo.
Well, alright then. We not beg no friends.
Tell your friends to tell their friends to join us. You're gonna love it.
No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. Me get up this small, feel you hungry, yeah man. Look and no money just get fire, yeah man. And two things around me would a rap too, man. But I cool me, a easy, yeah man. Now watch no face just a hustle, yeah man. But them politician boy, I get me mad, yeah man. Every day them come out with them so-called master plan. But them plan is the master out to bring down I man. Who have we money give it to the white man. So now parliament I discuss we, yeah man. So them not like yeah the truth was sense we, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. Now the youth them that they get to just a suffer, yeah man. And the politician them just don't give a damn. Government now they don't know you a hear me, yeah man. That's why me have to call me virgin, the Rasta man. Him said yes, I see I just Rastafari, yeah man. Wanna fire pan a Babylon, yeah man. But them corruption and them get rich plan. Fire pan them war run chemical weapon. Pass me a sick herb that are the truth, yeah man. I don't go think me just right and know, yeah man. A time if we go back to we roots, yeah man. If I the truth, me ya taught yourself.
What going, Norma? Good to see you.
Things of them I do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man I say them no fit say. Yo rude boy, you.
What's up, Nicolette?
No things where you go on, no fit go on.
Mitzi.
I do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man I say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you.
Been bumping this one for the past couple days. This Billy Blade brand spanking new joint. It's called Yeah Man. I tell a lie, I like it a lot. Me dig it.
But I cool me, easy, yeah man. Now watch your face just a hustle, yeah man. But them politician boy, I get me mad, yeah man. Every day them come out.
Okay, so one more time from the top. All right.
Come follow me now. This a no Sasko.
Brand new album in stores right now called Dance Hall Again.
East.
Them said G Cole longer reggae and lovers I can listen to. I said nope.
Well, alright.
But for the fire, it's dance hall. Send it over.
I beg no friend.
I got you.
No.
Samantha, what's up?
No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things where them a do them no fit do, yeah man. Certain things a man a say them no fit say, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. Me get up this small, feel you hungry, yeah man. Look and no money just get fire, yeah man. And two things around me would a rap too, man. But I cool me, a easy, yeah man. Now watch no face just a hustle, yeah man. But them politician boy, I get me mad, yeah man. Every day them come out with them so-called master plan. But them plan is the master out to bring down I man. Who have we money give it to the white man. So now parliament I discuss we, yeah man. So them not like yeah the truth was sense we, yeah man. Yo rude boy, you a hear me, yeah man. No things where you go on, no fit go on, yeah man. Things what them a do, them no fit do, yeah, man. Certain things them man I say, them no fit say, yeah, man. Yo, rude boy, you a hear me, yeah, man. No things what you go, no fit go on, yeah, man. Things what them a do, them no fit do, yeah, man. Certain things them man I say, them no fit say, yeah, man. Yo, rude boy, you a hear me, yeah, man. Now do you them that they get to just a suffer, yeah, man. And the politician them just don't give a damn. Government now they don't do you a hear me, yeah, man. That's why me have to come in raging the Rasta man. Him said yes, Selassie, I just Rastafari, yeah, man. Put a fire pan a Babylon, yeah, man. Borrow them corruption and them get rich plan. Fire pan them war run chemical weapon. Pass me a sick herb that are the truth, yeah, man. I don't go think we just right and know, yeah, man. A time if we go back to we roots, yeah, man. If I did.
Well, go on, Carol, how you doing? Valda, what's poppin'? Good evening to you too. I am doing wonderful. Tune bad, yeah, man. Not true, Mitzi.
No things where you go, no fit go on, yeah, man. Things where them a do, them no fit do, yeah, man. Certain things them man I say, them no fit say, yeah, man. Yo, rude boy, you a hear me, yeah, man. Me get up this small, feel hungry, yeah, man. Broke and no money, just get fire, yeah, man. And told things around me would a rap too, man. But I cool me, easy, yeah, man. Now wash your face, just a hustle, yeah, man. But them politician boy, I get me mad, yeah, man. Every day them come out to them to call master plan. But them plan is the master out to bring down I man. But who we money give it to the white man. So the parliament I discuss we, yeah, man. So them not like, yeah, the truth was sense we, yeah, man. Yo, rude boy, you a hear me, yeah, man. No things where you go, no fit go on, yeah, man. Things where them a do, them no fit do, yeah, man. Certain things them man I say, them no fit say, yeah, man. Yo, rude boy, you a hear me, yeah, man. No things where you go, no fit go on, yeah, man. Things where them a do, them no fit do, yeah, man. Certain things them man I say, them no fit say, yeah, man. Yo, rude boy, you a hear me,
this is when you want the same G Cole. Legal businessman. Bang, bang, boom.
I mean say this a protege, eh? Homegrown with G Cole, how you say, eh? We make them know what reggae music we a play, eh? Hey, this is Protege, the one and only representing for G Cole, you know. Check it. He's out.
And we said them not got no style like we. G Cole, them not got no style like we. None of them no wicked, no wild like we. Accurate. Kabaka Pyramid representing for the #1 selector and radio host. It's all about G Cole. Keep it locked. Accurate.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Kalia. I'm hanging out with your boy G Cole on the Homegrown Show.
Yes. Welcome one and all. It is Homegrown with G Cole coming to the Massive and Crew live right now. Everywhere, man. Got to big up everybody watching live on Jamaicans.com. Everybody watching live on the Homegrown with G Cole platform. And of course, those listening live in Radio Land. Big up on yourself. All right, Logic Rubber Ranks Radio. Got the Logic Royal Zion Highness Radio, Real Vibes Live. The entire fam. All those people listening on homegrownwithgcole.com, thank you so much. And of course, I can't leave out my YouTube people. And YouTube people always say, yo, you know, Audrey up. I got y'all, all right? Much love to my YouTube fam also. Everybody. Like I said, dope show for y'all today. Make sure you say it, tell your friends, tell their friends, come hang out with us, all right? Empress Unique, wagwan. Great to see you. Sister Eileen S, good evening. Good evening to you. We just heard from Billy Blade with a song called Yaman. All right? The album name, Dancehall Again. You know what I mean? As long as some good dancehall, we with it. All right, we got guests in the building. We're going to talk some things. All right, we're going to go into the thing. You know what I mean? You know me, I be wilding out here sometimes. So sometimes I got to get some people come here and educate me, show me some stuff. You know what I mean? Bring me back from the dark side. I'm open. I'm game today. All right, but tomorrow I'm back to wilding. I'm just letting you know. All right, tomorrow, straight back over them again. Cross the gully, cross the gutter. Madness. But today, we're keeping it professional. Today we're keeping it professional. So we have special guests, plural, in the building. You know what I mean? Soon turn the camera. Them my people, them tired of me, you know. So every now and then, them give me about 30 seconds, and then the intro, and then them say, G Cole, who you have in the building? Bring them on. We not here for you, but it's all good. It's all good. Me not feeling away. My ego ain't that. You ever feel away? I like me to. I'm just saying. All right, me I not rock from how long. But it's all good. I want to big up Joey. Got to big up Krista. Big up all my nurses, all my doctors, all my paramedics, first responders, all my frontline people, essential workers, healthcare professionals, all of y'all. People in emergency rooms, pediatrics, the whole thing. It's crazy times out here. I know it. Some people are going like the thing gone, but they're not going nowhere. All right? So is what it is. Big up also the mental health professionals. We need you now more than ever. Who else for large up? I want to big up on my educators, teachers, guidance counselors. You know what I mean? All them folks that's out there dealing with your crazy children. You know, because we don't know you pick them steroids, you know. That's the one of the things with COVID is when COVID happened, that's when y'all realized that your children was, whew, is all I'm gonna say. Little Timmy. Little Dennis was a menace. Trust me. I went in off a steer room with them knowing, yeah. Get the teachers in my raise. That's all I gotta say. All right. Rest in peace to the family and the friends of Mr. Leonard Bartlett. I talk about Merciless, one of my favorite DJs. I'm not into the tribute shows and stuff like that. If I feel like it, I'm gonna get into it. But truth is, it's a little faux, you know. Especially when you not drop the artist them tune on a regular and then the artist pass away and you're going like, say, boy, you that pump down them tune from way back. But I'll always tell you, one of my favorite artists, all right? Dancehall artist, that is. Merciless. Mavis, you know what I mean? I think some of the girl them gives out from the high school. I walk around and say, I meet the girl and come and shop, come out. It's Merciless fault. You know what I mean? But you don't know. Rest in peace. All right, support the artists them while they're alive. Give them their flowers while they're here. Not just artists, but everybody. Get them flowers while they're here and stop fake the funk when people gone. Remember to hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at MyGCole. All right, we got a nice convo for you today. I'm gonna drop one more joint. It's Jayu at my place. June, how you doing? Everybody big up on yourself. Lawrence Wagwan. Everybody, man. It's that time. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. Homegrown.
What you know about shop down a square and ridge? What you know about river? What you know about bridge? This is when you're worldwide. New York and big from Florida to Canada, Jamaica. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Grand Till Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, Spring Ever lively. So no worry about for me, I remind you. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Grand Till Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, Spring Ever lively. So no worry about for me when you see me. From the top of the hill to the valley city, we gon' slide. Give a nigga enough rope, him serving my cold blood. Beans got the 9 greens, got the 4-5. In a real life like no Joe. Back to the mission, I done linked up with my cousin. Live in the flesh, burner, got the buzz off. I ain't got number love, that's how we show love. But you ever around the hammer, walking with the shovel. You know see what I want, you know the whole place tell the people that I early morning, they think corrupt. Straight to the arrow, now bend me, now borrow. And it's so sad to tell you that there ain't no tomorrow. Sand in the glass of an hour, lose your life in a minute while it's ticking and it's clicking like a barrel. He done lost his brain, the whole barrel. Eyes like a sparrow, stay focused on whatever. Anything moving too clever to my cheddar. Just another situation, I gotta set her. I'ma always know that I gotta do better. So I always keep my meditation one level. Yeah. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Grand Till Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, Spring Ever lively. So no worry about for me, I remind you. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Grand Till Oberlin, that are my best. Havana,
ladies and gentlemen, it's Jayu the Ferner Burner. It's called My Place.
Tomato, potato, better you getting it yourself or you ain't getting no help. Nah, I'm playing the cards that I'm dealt. You don't know what I felt. I done seen bodies drop to the dirt. And I don't wanna see another murder. Every day and I the Gleaner, Jamaica observer. Every day them keep pushing me further. One thing for sure, me know two for certain. They wanna lock us up behind iron curtain. Building more prison and then building more church. They ain't never gonna value my worth. No more freedom to move as we were. I promise these waves of life I'm gon' surf. All fun and games till somebody get hurt. Or even worse, now somebody head burst. Living these days is crazy, I swear. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Grand Till Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, Spring Ever lively. So no worry about for me, I remind you. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Grand Till Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, Spring Ever lively. So no worry about for me when you see me. What you know about Bada Unity? Tell me what you know about Temple Hall and Golden Spring. Press gas, so my gang go and do me thing. Me auntie, me uncle, me cousin, them on the hill. Bricks them up and I build the breeze chill. Farming from early morning side till yow. Fred and Berna, you don't know we say big up Belmont, Paisley, Tavan, Luna, Grand Till, Oberlin. You don't know when I'm on the 14 parishes of Jamaica, Cut and Clear. We say big up St. Andrew and St. Mary.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jai the front of burner. The song is called My Place. Yo, it's amazing when you're at a club and somebody hear a song drop and it big up all the way them come from. Them never go there from them at 2, you know, them at 50 now. Yo! You know what I mean? I see it all the time. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it happened. Not sure. Yo, fire. Never go there yet. But I saw the thing go. You see the thing, I said tonight we have a special guest, author. This is Tara Smith-Jarret. But here's the thing I always say. Anytime, there's always, I'm just saying, it's just the views of G Cole does not represent those of Jamaicans.com, Homegrown With G Cole, any affiliates. All right, but it's like a rogue. There's always a troublemaker. You understand? It's like rip your roll. There's always a one troublemaker. I roll it up and no one. I ain't calling no names. I ain't saying no nothing. You know what I mean? But there's always a one. You know, the one where you have to gonna get you in all kind of trouble, getting you pulled over, getting you arrested, getting you all kind. You know what I mean? Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. I'm just saying, that one day, you always got to keep your eye out because if you're not careful, oh my Lord, make sure you have your bail money on deck, all right? So let me first of all flash my cameras over here because I'm tired of seeing me. We got loveliness on the building, all kind of beautifulness, so we got to share it. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good? Yes. Open up all the microphone, you know. And I introduced you, so I'm going to ask you for introduce trouble by your side, you know what I mean? But please do. Please give her introduction for me.
Okay, so this is the beautiful Shalewa Henry.
And lovely she is, but that trouble me can't see.
A teacher by profession, entrepreneur. Well, she has multiple business that she'll get the chance to tell you all about. A go-getter. Yeah. And a wonderful human being.
The check
I think
clear.
That's about sums it up.
The check clear. I see. That's what I want to sound like. I want to sound like some real endorsements right there. Some real endorsements. A real. I joke, man. Make. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much. I am super.
Super you are. I love your energy. I love the vibe. I love the energy. Are we gonna get in some of the entrepreneurship and all that? Because I think it's always dope. We have our entrepreneurs. We teach all kind of things to our kids. One thing we're going to teach them is entrepreneurship, self-reliance. Do them. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. In this day and age, 2022, we use the word entrepreneurship loosely. You know what I mean? We're using it for me. I ain't trying to go get no job. I'm trying to stay on the couch. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. That's what a lot of them are using for nowadays, right? But realistically speaking, we got true entrepreneurs out there doing their thing, balancing it with the real 9 to 5 because a lot of the time at the 9 to 5 fund the entrepreneurship. But you can't tell that to the YouTube, baby. You know what I mean? You can't tell that to a boy on the couch over there. John, him now watch. But it's all good. Ladies, welcome again. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Tara, I'm going to start with you because, you know, we got the book to talk about. We got life to talk about.
Yes, we do.
And if you have it, I'll flash it here so the masses them can see it. And we have Jano. Can I tell you, you really read it tonight? Have all a mark in it, Jano.
Yes.
It ain't just a prop. Oh, guess what? Your camera honest. You hold the book, but it's all gravy. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this first of all. I'm gonna be straight up. Ladies always tell men that they can't walk and chew gum at the same time, and up until about a half an hour ago, I would have argued it, right? But I was trying to walk and chew gum when I sent you the address. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna front, right? So here what happened now. I sent you the studio address, but my home street. So I don't know how don't know how it happened. So my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It's not their fault. I'm my own. But if you look on the camera, good, you see a couple of grays that pop up. I got excuses out here. The book is called Trapped in Freedom, a brave 14-year-old girl's determination to escape abuse, turn her humiliation into honor. This is, I've had 3 such topics that I've dealt with before, right? And I don't know if this is by design. If it is, I think it's dope and I think it's smart that books like these aren't too thick. Right?
By design.
So I'm sure that's probably by design because, you know, especially in this day and age when it comes to trying to get people to read, you know, when some pick up a book, then start weigh it first, you know. They weigh it and look on the front, the cover, and then if them can't just, if it go too long, they give you the BS answer like, is it an audio book? When they know, so they don't listen either.
Exactly.
But it's all good. Before we even dive into the book, you're an educator, right?
Yes.
I love my educators. I love my teachers and so forth. I think it is, I say it all the time, it's a noble profession. Teachers don't get paid enough.
I agree with that.
Highly underpaid. But my argument sometimes too is, if you jack it up too much, then are you going to get educators in the classroom or just people looking for some dough, right? Are you going to get the folks? Don't get me wrong, the money need to go. But I'm just saying, if it was one of the professions that was highly paid, right? Would you have people in your classroom there to teach your kids, or would you have people in there for the come up, right?
Just like how you have lawyers representing you even when they know that.
Represent she. I don't have no lawyer represent me.
And the money's
I'm
up
harmless.
there. Because the truth of the matter is you have people who really, truly love their profession.
Right.
Love what they do.
Right.
To impart knowledge. So
I couldn't do it.
many people...
I love kids.
Many people
Couldn't do
could
it.
not.
Nah.
And you made mention of the COVID and what it revealed earlier.
Yeah, come on, pitting in my head. Nah, it ain't happening. I couldn't do it. I love kids. I'm always the one with the children in my room, or whatever the case may be. But those are my God kids, are my people. And if they ain't acting right, I'll tell them they ain't acting right. You know what I mean? But everybody pick me. Nah. And children are a reflection of their homes, too, Jano.
For the most part.
Jano. Let me ask you this, though. As far as, again, being an educator, this is 2022, right? In a world where we always hear about how intolerable these children are, why are you an educator?
All right. Currently, as we speak, I am not in the classroom. And maybe it's fate, because I have 4 other siblings who are educators as well. I have one in England, one in China, and I have 2 in Jamaica.
Right.
It is important. As a matter of fact, teachers are the hub of everything.
I agree.
Even though people don't act like that, but teachers are the hub
100%.
of everything. And we see where we have a society where people are reliant on social media to raise their children, to teach their children, and social media is good. You have information out there, but the supervision is what creates the problem. Lack of supervision is what creates the problem. Now, we already know that you have children who learn at different levels, Different learning ability, and you really have to have people who are equipped, who have the patience,
Right.
and love has to be in it for you to do it properly. It matters not the training that you get, and it doesn't matter how the money, for some people, it might not be a lot, but it's a guaranteed paycheck at the end of the month.
Right.
But for you to do your job effectively, there has to be love.
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree, because here's the thing. I've had teachers that have had amazing effect on my life. And I've had teachers that have not.
Oh, yes.
The ones that have had the amazing effects on my life, I pretty much, from primary school, some we've lost, rest in peace. I still have relationships with them. Love them like my own moms and grandma to this day.
Yes, you are.
And I did an interview the other day when I was on the other side of the microphone, and somebody was asking me why I do what I do and who would I attribute it to. And it was 2 of my teachers I had to give it to. You know what I mean? I could list a whole lot more, but I had to drop those 2 names because they were instrumental, right? And I love them, they love me, and it was evident, even though they weren't nothing to play with in the classroom, that it was love, right? But I ain't gonna front, there were a couple of teachers who I knew it was just a paycheck. You know what I mean? They rolled through, and it was just, so the balance is there.
Just like any other sector,
Any other profession.
You have people who are there because it's a means to an end.
It's a means to an end. But big ups, much love and much thanks to the true teachers, the true educators, because at the end of the day, you talk about your lawyers and your doctors. We keep referring to those stuff and the pilots and the this and that, who make up a lot of money.
But teachers teach all of
And the
those.
teachers teach all of them.
Exactly.
I still can't afford to go up on somebody flight them.
Thank
Still
you
can't afford
very-
somebody attorney them.
Thank you
Still can't
very
afford
much.
somebody doctor them. Jano. And someone to pick them foolish say, because at the end of the day, and if the teachers never invest so much time and effort, they would have never made it to law school. Because they ain't too bright from morning. They're like a big head boy, they never too bright from morning. I'm not calling him Kevin. So, I joke.
Mind the Kevin them come for you. Mind the Kevin them come for you.
Trust me, the way like Kevin and will leave it, but I can't have it. I was listening to something. It's not NPR. I can't remember what outlet it was that I was listening to, and I was hearing something about some schools in Texas trying to take out, you heard about it, take out the whole concept of slavery. They don't want it spoken about in schools. They want the books that talk about slavery to be removed. They want the whole concept of teaching the children about the period of slavery to be removed, right? They want to call it something else. They want to call it involuntary relocation or some not involuntary service, whatever they want to call it, right? As an educator and as a black woman, because again, you're in there from two vantage points. You're an educator. And you say to yourself, Jono. But then you're a black woman, and Jono. So talk to me a little bit about when you hear something like that, what goes through your mind?
When I heard it first, I was appalled. Straight up, because I'm saying, here we go again. But I realized that that many people, when they don't want to face the truth, they rather hide it.
Right.
And this is just a prime example of them. You know, because you have some people who, what they call it now, become woke.
That word there.
Some too much. The thing is that history is very important. The present is more important, and the future is most important. That's what I think.
Right.
No, it is what people do with that history that is the problem. It's not history itself.
Right.
Because history itself is here to teach us. Because all of us want to know where we come from. You know, the affiliation, the alignment, you know, all of that is important. You understand? But we realize that people want to say, okay, you are arguing up this too much. It's many years ago. Let it go.
Yeah.
What I will agree with is when I see our present people want to chastise certain people who are present now, born when me and you born, who was not here when their great-great-granny, they not even know the great-great-granny name, and you want to beat them over the head, even though they appear and they function as a different individual who sees people as people.
So you're blaming them for the sins of the father and forefathers.
Exactly. Wait, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
sometimes that
Not
is
fair.
a problem. No,
Not fair.
I don't think that is fair. However, wiping the slate clean and want us to pretend like it was not present, it did not happen.
Crazy.
I think that is ludicrous.
Crazy. And you're right. We can't beat anybody down for the sins of their forefathers. Unless they're black. Because when the black people them do it, you know, their grandfather do this and then I blame it till they come all the way down, you know. Look at Timothy. Your grandfather. A whole different convo. But I feel you on that. It's not fair, it's not right. But you know what amazes me a lot of times is people don't want to take the blame for anything, but they want the credit for everything, you know. So the same folks who say, don't blame me for the ills and the injustices of my forefathers will say, could you leave their statues up because it meant so much to me and the legacy and whatever the case may be. Counter.
But that's human being mostly.
True that.
You know what satisfies the soul and what satisfies the narrative in their head.
Yeah, I'm a real teacher, I know. John. How did you feel? Did you hear about it too? You're a real teacher, you know.
Oh
I'm just saying, it's like I love it though. The teachers in the classroom that will find the light in the darkest spot, right? We'll find the sweet in the sourest spot. John, no, that's what I mean. They have money for happening. But I mean,
no, fire for blaze.
Fire for blaze.
Fire for blaze. But I think that comes with that fire must be sensibility.
I agree with you 100%. And we have to be careful because sometimes when we react to things, we react irrationally. But I think sometimes when we talk about how people react to things irrationally, I think sometimes it's because when they react rationally, they don't get results. And we've seen this recently. Right?
That is true too. And I think sometimes when people act irrationally, it's lack of education, ignorance.
John, no, Kevin, you wouldn't matter about that. But I'm just saying. Well, did you hear about it too from the classroom?
No.
No?
I did not hear about that one. But what I definitely heard about was the shooting still in Texas again, so I don't know what's up with Texas.
Yeah.
That was also, mind blowing as to how police would wait forever to go in to get one man, after he killed how many kids and teachers. So it's definitely sad times that we're living in when it comes on to gun control you know, how people should react, how we should train our kids, and
Wow.
and all of these things. It's just sad. It's a sad situation.
Too many things we have to deal with. When I don't want to think it's there. That you know, we can't just listen to music and all our vibes, you know.
This
We
your granny
can't.
safe, I know, but what button at the button hole?
Yeah, no, star. Can't just listen to you and eat a jerk chicken. Something always are going. Nah. One of the reasons that I really, when it was mentioned to me that, you know, I might want to have a convo with you, right? One of the reasons I thought it important to speak with you is not just to share, like I said, I've had several conversations before, not to share horrors of past trauma, but what I dig is post-trauma. You know what I mean? What I will say is this: when it comes to trauma, you expect people to be broken, and sometimes they are, and you know it's just a matter of how you walk around and how you do the thing. You know what I mean?
Times.
But to me, I like victory, and a lot of time when people go through trauma and on the other side of it, they are victorious. I want to say victorious. I can't erase what happened, you know. But what was meant to kill you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, made you taller, stronger, fiercer. To me, I feel like we celebrate stuff like that, and that's what I love about the, you know, I haven't gone through the book yet, but just the concept of, from what I've read, it's not let me live there, but I'm alive right now and I'm gonna tell you about it, but I'm not shying away from what happened, and I dig that. And I just want to say, how are you?
I am good.
I love it.
I am good. Sometimes I am great. It depends, because
Right.
we have those days.
Right.
And as you mentioned about post-trauma and all of that, and the victory, what people needs to know that what you go through or what you went through don't have to define you, but it can refine you.
Mad. So like a merciless lyrics. Yo, I'm sort of an artist, you're a DJ too, you know. I like the one there. Killer,
So,
right to know.
You don't have to define you, it can refine you. And it has to do with your circle. And I tell people all the time that your circle is very important.
Gospel.
Very, very
Gospel.
important. Because, you know, many people focus on quantity as opposed to the quality
Gospel.
of those who are around you. So if you just want people in your circle, if you tell people, say, look, I have my friend circle large, me have who a selector, me have who this, me have who that. You understand me? And really and truly, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, they can't help you.
Right. Can't answer.
When it comes down to the nitty gritty and when you're in the wrong, they egg you on and they refrain from telling you that, come on, G Cole,
Chorus and
what you did was not cool. You know?
Yeah. Hold us accountable. That's what
Yes,
friends are supposed to do.
accountability.
Yeah.
You understand me? Your circle is supposed to be there. Mind you, don't fool yourself that your circle is going to be there all the time. It's impossible for anybody to be there for you every time.
Right,
it's
right.
not possible.
Right.
Because things are happening in their lives too. So if something happened today, they might not arrive today, but you know they're coming.
Right. You can't count on that.
Yes, and that's what is important. They're supposed to be there to, when you're lagging behind, reach back and pull you forward. And if you're down in the dump, they're supposed to be able to help and pull you right back up. You know,
Right.
put that chin up and say, come on, cool.
Right.
Hold that chin up. You understand what I'm saying? So that is it. As it relates to the book that you touch on a little bit, when we speak about circle, careful of the people who you bring around your children.
Right.
You see these acquired aunts and uncles?
Yeah, no. I don't like it. I don't
And
like
people
it.
may disagree, but for me, I gave birth to one child. I have stepchildren. I have nieces and I have nephews. And I wouldn't want to see them in a certain position where they have to face certain things. So I am just, and I can implore all who are listening, be careful of the people who you bring around your children. Don't let down your guard. Auntie, uncle, grandfather, father, it doesn't matter who. Don't get paranoid now, you know.
Everybody look on the side of
You
R.
understand?
Kelly looking brother.
What? Be vigilant.
Yeah.
Be vigilant. And guess what? Pay attention to your children. And if they want to talk, find time to speak to your children.
Wow.
You understand me? So when you're on the phone laborishing with your friend, that might be the moment when your daughter get the courage to say something to mommy. So if she said, Mom, I want to speak to you. Don't
Make
shut
that
her
time.
down.
Yeah.
Don't shut her down. Make that time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I said, that might be the moment. Because sometimes they have things lingering, and they're wondering how they're going to put it across. Sometimes that's in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when you shut them down, that opportunity is gone.
It's funny you mention that. I've had some episodes that I've done. We're a patriotic people, right? Jamaicans. We love Jamaica, right? Probably ain't doing jack for the country, but we love Jamaica. We wear the t-shirt, black, green, and gold, right?
Especially now.
Especially now. When Shelly come up, we love it thing. You know what I mean? And time Carnival, we love it thing. Yeah. Afterwards, her. But I've said, and I'll continue to say, and this is not just a Jamaica, but because I'm a Jamaican, that's where my passion lies. Rape culture, sexual abuse culture, are part of the culture. We don't want to talk about it,
Listen.
And people get mad at me for saying that, but if you know two women, the stats say 3, I'm going to go a little tighter and say it's 2. If you know 2 women, one of the 2 has been either raped or somehow, someway sexually assaulted. And the concept of, me at 13 years old, I may walk with a 13-year-old girl or my 13-year-old friend or whatever the case may be, and a 30-year-old and 40-year-old man is trying to talk to her. It never made sense to me. But it almost seemed normal. Talk to me a little bit about that. Jano.
You said it, and you said it correctly. Unfortunately, that rape culture, that sexual abuse culture, and any other pretty way that we want to put it, it's a part of our culture, unfortunately. The thing is that, we reference the slavery and how they want to hide that under a bushel somewhere, people rather to hide it than face it.
Right.
You understand me? And that too is a part of because of society. Because let me tell you something. You see, most times when people come forward with that, if you have been raped, prepare to be raped twice or 3 times. Because guess what? The community, society is going to rape you a second time.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
And we can take it further. Sometimes if you are part of the church, sometimes the church rape you another time too.
Yep.
The family members are going to rape you another time when they finish with you.
Right.
Because everybody, we are a set of people that we are so fixed on brand or names. So,
not such and such.
no, you want to taint our name in the community? You understand me? People look up to us. Don't you dare open your mouth and say that. Even though your aunt who is saying that to you know what your uncle has done to you.
Yeah.
Know what your cousin has been doing for 3 and 4 years. But they have to protect the family name. You understand me? Because auntie elder in a church. You understand me?
Prayer warrior.
Yes.
Prayer warrior, politician, doctor
Your mother
so-and-so.
teaches at the school and you this and that. So is what we are impressionists.
Can't tarnish your brand.
Yes. We are impressionists and we seek to impress people who don't even care sometimes.
At the detriment of our loved ones.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you rather protect the name than make sure that your niece is okay, your daughter is okay, your cousin is okay. You're protecting the family name and you're going to hug that up while the child is there going off her rockers.
Right.
So watch her have panic attack. You understand? Mental breakdown. She stopped learning in school. And instead of facing the fact and realize that this is affecting the child, then you say, Miss Matty boy, take her book, go home and then do something to her. You understand me? Those kind of nonsense. So we find every excuse in the book to use rather than face it and try to fix the problem.
Responsibility is not our thing.
No, we don't do. We like to sweep things under the rug and keep it there. But one thing I can say, if those things are left untreated, unattended, it's going to manifest itself one way or another.
Right.
And most time it's never in a positive way.
Right.
So when people see children and you hear children say, oh, I feel suicidal, I this and that, I hear them say, go on side. What you have a worry about? All you do is eat and you make noise. And you go to school. Some of these children, especially when you're a teacher, who they see is that a caring person. and they can trust you a particular way, you don't need to ask them anything.
Right.
They come and they pour into you. I know that I've been there many nights. I've been to that point where when I learned about what was happening to two particular students, I was unable to sleep in the night.
Right.
I got to the point where I was put on sleeping tabs just to function.
Wow.
You understand me? And all of that was in that moment wasn't even my problem.
It wasn't your it's the burdens of others that...
Exactly.
Wow.
But when you recognize the issues, the burdens that these children have to face, your heart hurt.
You know, it's amazing when I listen to you speak about stuff like that. We always talk about the sweep under the rug and the parents not believing you, whatever the case may be. The incidences that I've seen, and as I've spoken to people about them, I've always been a firm believer that it's not that them don't know. Majority of the times, the people who say they don't know, they know.
They don't want to face it.
You know, because again, you know, the vilest of people have people who love them. So at the end of the day, those people have loved ones too, and those loved ones, and that's the reason why it's normally at the hands of a family member and so forth. Because to some degree, there's a protected, they're trusted and protected. Sugar said one time, we're sitting right here, say, how come so much women get raped and nobody don't know no rape them, no rapist, right? If you think about it, every day, all the women that are being violated and sexually harassed, and we're saying women because it's more the common factor, but guess what, right about now, all the young boys.
Look here.
Trust me.
You have to open your eyes on your girls, but you have to open two eyes on your boys. You understand me?
Yeah.
Because listen, we live in a culture where we see. I was speaking to her earlier, and I said, you know, every time I pop my phone open and I go on the net, you see two people with the same body parts. You know,
they might try to program it.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So things are accepted. And things are being promoted in a particular way. I'm not going to delve deep into that because I'm not going to get myself in any problem. But you understand what I'm saying. So you have to keep your eyes. You know, first time when we were growing, the mother would shelter the girl, but boy, you can't go all day go play football.
Yeah.
And you go ice kite. When you're hungry, you come. So if you're hungry at 2 or 3 o'clock in the evening, it's fine.
Yeah.
Now you better open your eyes on your boys. Just as much as you open your eyes on your girl.
You gotta.
You understand me? There's no leeway. Let's not play pretend, because we like to do that. We like to play pretend, and I don't know if it keeps us in a safe space where we operate as if, oh, this is not happening. It's
not in my culture, not in my community.
No, we don't. We don't do those things. Really? Really? And as you make mention of the women and how they don't know any rapists.
Right.
Because when you come forward, when society done with you.
Victim blaming, victim shaming.
Oh my God.
You know, I remember when, and not to drag her back in it, but it comes up every couple of months. When Tanya made a comment about something, right? It's come up in a couple of months. I was supposed to do an interview with a lady who was a victim. She was overseas. I decided, you know what, I don't want to be on a bandwagon. And having a conversation with her, I'm like, this would be a 40th interview. It's kind of like reliving the same thing over and over, so we'll leave it be. But the amount of victim blaming and victim shaming I saw, that was what my show focus was. And I always thought of it like, if you are a mother or a father and you sit there victim blaming somebody on your television or your radio for reporting what they deem sexual harassment or rape, and you have a little daughter or son beside you that has been raped, them don't look by you and say, oh, this ain't the one for me to go tell her, go on.
Exactly.
And that is something that I always wonder about, because most of these people are parents, you know, are big people. You know?
No, it's not just parents. You as you make mention of that Tanya situation, because every time it comes up on a platform, I am not somebody, I like to go listen, but I also like to dive in the comment section. And when I see the women going at her,
and I protect a man that they don't know.
Call name.
Yep.
You lie. Why you just talking?
Yeah.
Who are you to put a timeline on my grief?
Yeah.
Who are you to put a timeline on the fact that I overcome and I am now just ready to speak about it?
Yeah.
And I say to people, it's above your pay grade. If you have never experienced it, you don't have no authority to dictate to anybody how, when, where, and why they should. You're not qualified.
But you know why they do though? The reason why they say speak up right now, drop a name, and again, it's part of the culture.
Enough of them are just inquisitive.
That too, but them want to give you a timeline to get over it. Because here's the deal. You see the day you drop the name and you say you spoke on it, 3 months later, they must say, all right, you say it no, so
Don't know.
can we move on?
And that's the
And
problem.
that's what they're looking for.
But that's the problem. Because who appoint you, that person,
Yeah.
to give me a timeline?
John,
Everybody deals with things different.
right,
And trust and believe. What I survive may kill you.
right.
And that's what people need to understand. All of us don't process things the same way. All of us don't overcome the same way and the same time frame. You understand me?
Some don't
Some may
overcome at
come
all.
Some take it to their grave.
Yeah.
They never recover.
Yeah.
I know people who go off their rockers just because they were molested.
It's something we have to. I guess the most we can do a lot of times is speak on it. I love it when the kids hear it because they need to know. A lot of times, people are taught certain things, you know, and sometimes they're taught from them young because we hear all kind of excuses.
Yes.
Mama need the financial help, so she turned a blind eye. That is a common assault, right? So mama needed financial help, she turned a blind eye. All right? Or, you know, mama is not on her footing herself, so is somebody where she look up to and rate and respect herself. So a lot of times, you know, there's even resentment toward the child because for like
You want to mash up my life.
mash up my life. And I meet the man should have all kind of things. What I ask of somebody like yourself is this: you have and this is just from my observation from just seeing your demeanor and all them things, an air of vibes and positive and you know what I mean, and a smile as broad as the Nile. Going through all that you go through, where does that come from? How do you manage to have that?
This was, I want to say innate, but in my lineage. I had a dad, though it was taken a bit early because my dad died like 30 years ago.
When you were young.
Yes. I was in grade 8.
Wow.
But he was the best father that you could have had.
Right.
And then you have my mom, the warrior. And I say this more than once on different platforms. If I have quarter of the strength that my mother have, me good.
Wow.
Because
Big up Mom Dukes.
I am one of 8 children.
Right.
And I said my dad died when I was in grade 8.
Right.
We are the same dad.
Wow.
Except one. So anybody have sense, do the maths.
So mama put on them
How
boots and be
many-
like, yo, let's do this.
Yes.
Whew.
How many after me?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? My bigger sister is a teacher in England. The one that followed me is a teacher. The one that followed her is in the army in England. The one that followed him is a teacher in China, and it goes on. My brother that follows is a teacher.
So you're a bunch of educators.
Yes. You
Wow.
understand me?
Was
But-
mom a teacher?
No.
No? Okay.
My mom did not have a profession.
You were her profession.
We were.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? And I say this to put it in context for those who are listening.
Right.
And I watched that woman champion the cause of her children.
Yeah. Wow.
You understand me? Under difficult circumstances.
Wow.
So I have example of overcoming. I have example of true determination.
Right.
I have example of standing tall even when you don't feel like it.
So survival in your genes.
Long time.
I kill out that saying in your cardio.
Born with it.
In your gabardine.
You understand me? And this is somebody that you're looking at. I've had few issues, you know. Met in a car accident months. My neck could not turn. I could not walk. And what? My mom again. I must declare I have beautiful siblings. I have good relationship with my siblings. So for that I thank God.
Right.
You understand me? But I learned also long time ago. Because even when I was in the accident, and I tell people that is where I really learned it from. You know, they say that when you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. And I learned it laying in that hospital bed, strapped to a piece of board. When they want to move me, they count 1, 2, 3, and they lift. You understand me? But I remember the first time a friend of mine, Joan Marie Wilson, she came because she would come sometimes in the morning before she's a teacher too, go to school sometimes after. My siblings, would come in and out. But I remember when she said to me, do you want to see your face? She said, if you want to see your face, blink twice. Because I could not. And I blinked. And I tell you, when I saw myself, if I could get up, I would get up and run left myself.
Damn. Wow.
It was that bad.
Wow.
But lying there and, encouragement from my mom and people, many people, even those that I did not expect. A lot of people came to the hospital,
Wow.
Everybody came through that door, cried. That's the first thing. They said, okay. But what I learned, and when I realized the state I was in, I said, all right, is it that I'm going to fall mentally or I'm going to war this out?
Right.
So what I started doing, my bottom lip was chopped in two. I got 12 stitches alone in my bottom lip.
Wow.
But I started picking apart. I said, okay, so my nose is a little bit lean, but my eyes are intact. You understand? My ears are working.
Wow.
I can't speak, but I can hear. I can see, And I start doing I'm not mathematically inclined, but I start doing the measurement. And say, all right, my nose is so close to my eyes, but God spared this part.
Right,
so my
right.
eyes are intact. You
Right.
understand me? I had blood clots under my skin. If the breeze blew, it was so hot. But they were different. Yeah, I could easily well count what was right and what was wrong. What was wrong was too much.
Right.
You understand me? But in that moment, I realized that even though it was bad, it still could be worse.
Wow.
And that is how I learned in that moment to start picking it apart.
Right.
But
Highlighting the positive.
yes, because I don't know where it came from, to be honest, in that moment.
Right.
But it came.
Wow.
And when you're faced with certain things, you have a decision. It's either you go fight it like a champion or you go fall. No, I could not see my mother as a warrior that she is and lie down and fall.
Yeah.
That not in my jeans nor my t-shirt.
Yeah. Say it don't work that way.
No. You understand me? So
Yeah.
I decided in my head that we will war this out.
Right.
I'm going to stand. Even when I was discharged, because this aunt was basically dead.
Right.
And I remember I had 15 doctors looking after me. And I remember when I was being discharged, I have no recollection of the accident anyway.
None.
None.
Wow.
Except when I went in the car. That's it.
Right.
And I remember this young man sitting beside me. But when I was being discharged, they all gathered. And they said, okay, I've seen people come in here with less than what you came with. And they don't live to go back through the door. They say, count yourself lucky. You are going home. And because of the state of my mouth, I could not speak. But in my head, I was correcting them. I said, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
You can't look at this and call luck.
Look.
And I remember when one of the doctors said, you won't be able to carry even your handbag again. You see me?
Rolling through.
Okay.
Wow.
So guess what? They say that it's not over until the fat lady sings. It's not over until God says so.
Yeah.
That's it, point.
We not
blank
control
period.
nothing. They used to say man up plan and gotta wipe out.
My destiny is not my own.
Yeah. I dig that because, and that's an approach that not just for traumatic experiences, but if we can take that throughout life, we'll be all right. Especially with all the things that go on right about now. When we journal, right? It's a personal thing. When we publish, it's no longer, right? That's a book. Our lives don't include just us. So anytime we're going to document anything, there's always somebody else included in that book. Whether the people who supported us or the people who failed us, right? And sometimes people interpret it how they want to. What was the response from close friends and families when you put the book out?
The responses, for most part, have been surprising. Let me tell you something. When I published this book, I realized that many have untold stories.
Right.
The first encounter I have with this lady, she's 86 years old. And when she came and she saw the book, I was there signing, and then I heard somebody crying. I looked up She was crying. And then she said, listen, I've been through this.
Right.
You hear her say she's how much? 86 years old.
Wow.
And she wept. I was so surprised. I stood there first because I was shocked. And then, after you get over the initial shock, I was hugging her, wiping her face. And it is okay. I went to the nail salon and I sat there, got my nails done. I left. When I almost got to the door, there was a young lady sitting beside me. Something said, go back. And I went back. I introduced myself. I introduced my book, and I said, it makes a good read. Not because I wrote it, but it makes a good read. So, she said, okay, I'll remember. I said, no. You're going to take a picture of the book, so you remember what the name of the book is. And she did. And I flipped it around and allowed her to read the back. She said, can I get your number? I said, yes. I gave it to her. In the night, she called. And I was on the phone with that young lady. Yeah, I just met her in the salon for almost an hour. She laughed, she cried, she dried her tears, she cried some more. She said, it was my stepdad.
Wow.
For me, it was my stepdad. You understand me? I went to the pharmacy. This young lady was so pleasant to me. And I decided that, something? The only thing I can give you in return right now is a copy of my book. I gave her the book. I was there 12 minutes after 3 in the morning. I wake up to use the bathroom and my phone went off. And I checked it before I went back in the bed. I saw a message. It was from her. She sat up the entire night and she read the book.
Wow.
There is a character in the book called Ebony. And she said, in that book, I am Ebony.
Wow.
And she said, I wish when I was younger, I was a little bit braver. So I could tell. She said, I just started therapy last year.
Wow.
Because I am now just able to speak about it.
Right.
And there are other people. So I went to church and this lady said, listen to me. The only thing that is missing in the book is my name.
That's what she said?
Yes, that's what she said.
Wow.
She said the only thing missing, she said when I read, I said, well, look, Tara is talking about me. Tara is writing about me. The only thing missing is my name.
Wow.
And even though in my head I know that people have experienced, it is just surprising. And I think you have people who are just yearning to speak about it, but there isn't a safe place for many to speak about it. You understand me? And sometimes prior to this, there are things in your head and you try to put it together. Because I've been thinking about it and this really pushed me. So now I am creating my webinar, to include those people who want a safe space to share. Non-judgmental.
Right.
And just a safe space to share.
Right.
So for those who are listening, you can stay tuned to that, when we'll have a launch date and so on. But it has been surprising.
I can imagine. I can only imagine. It says here pretty much a brave 14-year-old girl's determination. So I presume that's the age you were when you're going through this trauma. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we're chopping up right now with author Miss Tara Smith-Jarret. Again, I'm showing her the book because I don't need to forget anything. All right.
It's available on Amazon. You have the e-copy and then you have the hardcover.
Oh, bang.
Or the paperback, I should say.
And watch it, turn it sideways so it's just not that thick,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's slim. Yeah, it's as slim as.
Part 2 is coming, don't worry.
Yeah, if you want. And guess what? We need to have the convo. We need to have the convo a lot more than we do. Because it's funny, we're talking about a 14-year-old girl right now, and you're talking about now these grown women, right, who are probably mothers, some maybe even grandmothers, right? How do they deal with their own kids? And I always wonder, having endured stuff like that, how do you trust, in your relationship? So you go through that at 14, you're now an adult. Going into the dating world, somebody loves you, you love them. How does that work?
If I must be honest, coming from me, and I've spoken to people, because a lot of people talk to me. So I have different perspective. Let me tell you something. You see that word healing?
Wow.
some sort of healing has to take place. Because you see, when you have been sullied, and you get to a point where you question who you are and to whom you belong, it's not a pretty place.
Right.
And when you have gone through certain trauma, that is what it does to you. You question this beautiful smile that God has given you. So you start wondering, if are you someone that smiles too much? Is your body language giving the wrong signals? You understand me? Do I need to fix my personality? Am I too accommodating? You know? And you start pick yourself apart.
Right.
If you are not careful, you start disliking yourself.
Wow.
Because you think that it is something in you that attracts this. Especially if you have the encounter more than once.
Right.
You start thinking that something must wrong with me.
Almost me.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Apart from
Kind of vibes me I get off.
yeah, apart from doing anything that you're not supposed to do in church, where they say make yourself out. You
Kevin.
What could that be?
I'm a harmless, innocent, naive young fella. So I don't have no idea.
No, they say we did the wrongs in church.
They do wrongs in church.
Yeah.
In the vestry.
Yeah. Yes. You make us out.
Pastor Dean.
Apart from that, it takes you to a place
Right.
where you question your mere existence.
Yeah.
You understand me? And you might grow a year, they say almost a question that God, but God know you have many unanswered questions. You start questioning him. Why me?
Yeah.
What have I done to deserve this? You know? Show me a sign. You know? Why should I keep living? What am I living for?
Right.
You understand me? Is this how I am seen by men? Something to take advantage of. You understand me? And you start side-eyeing every meal that comes your way. You understand me? I know for me, you may get to that point where if the man tell you that you're nice looking, you want to fight him and you can't fight.
Because as far as you're concerned, that's the first step that...
You understand me? Yeah, because every male know that called to you, why want?
Yeah.
What's your ulterior motive?
Yeah.
Why are you calling to me? Why are you smiling at me? Why are you coming beside me? What is
Yeah.
it? You understand me? So it drives you in that place. Sometimes it takes you to a place where if you have a personality like mine, or if you're somebody like me that people comes to, and then you're on the flip side and you realize that,
Who do you go to?
yes. But when you have a mind where you learn to protect your siblings, your loved ones, and you know that if you open your mouth, your burden becomes their burden. Your hurt becomes their hurt. You go in a protective mode. Because you don't want to see your loved ones hurting.
Right.
So you try to do it by yourself. And before you know it, stress bring on all sorts of sickness by you that you never hear about from the day you're born.
Yeah.
You understand me? So you may get to that point where you're tired because you're not sleeping.
Right.
Your body's going to give way. So your student come and find you pass out on the staff room floor.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Panic attack becomes your best friend.
Right.
Anxiety attack hugs you every turn you turn.
Wow.
You understand me? Uncertainty, self-pity, all of that. It knocks your self-confidence too. So if you are not careful, you're in a place that you just feel like a loser. You understand me? And that is where it is difficult. When that decision comes, should I fight?
Right.
Or since I have already been beat down, might as well just lay down and just whatever. You understand me? If there isn't that drive, and if the people around you are not observant too and realize that you recoil like a snake and just draw in your shell, and they will say to you, T, are you good? That's why I said the circle of people are important, because if they're paying attention, they will see signs that something is wrong. They don't necessarily have to know what is wrong, but if they are paying attention, they will see that something is off.
Yeah.
Those are the people you want, not just, we call him space holder.
And some people will see it off, but I'm not care enough, because a lot of times that's like you said, they're gonna have to take on some of that burden too. So, again, iron sharpens iron. And we talk about how people who have been through trauma go into relationships, exist in relationships. There's another thing that presents itself, and it's almost another form of victim blaming and re-victimizing. Is that now everything you do and say that's not favorable to somebody you're involved with, now they attribute it to she just broken. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you have dealt with the fact that feeling like you're broken, trying to heal yourself, become whole, so to speak. And then now you have somebody across from you who, though they love you and they care about you, they almost see you as that victim. So no matter what happened, I must because.
Yes.
Why is she tripping today?
And I am happy you touched on that, because you see, sometimes, that's what I'm saying, when you tell people your business, they use it and judge you.
Jano, Kevin.
But just because they know that you have been here, it doesn't matter if you're just tired today. If you're just tired and cranky today.
Yeah, it's because of that.
It's because of that. You understand me? Everything they attribute to what you have been through. When it simply has nothing, you're just overworked.
It's just life.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people don't see that. As it relates to getting into that relationship, it goes back to the point where you said your circle is important. Because even though I have been faced with so many things, and you side eye these people, when the dust settles, I was able to look back and say, all man not stay so. Because number one, I had my dad.
Right.
Who was a tremendous man. And then I come forward and I have my brothers who are lovely young men. I had examples.
Right.
I had examples. And presently, I am married. I have a wonderful husband.
Right.
So I have examples.
It ain't all bad.
Exactly.
Right.
So when you have certain kind of people in your circle, even when you're being knocked down, there is something there. The meter stick you can use to measure, because it's right there in front of you.
Right.
And you say, okay, so some stay so and some not stay so.
Right.
Because here's an example of somebody who's on the opposite end of what you have experienced. So when you can reach for that, because a lot of things, we like tangible things, and we like see things, and we like, where we can relate to just so. Nothing mythical, but you can see right there in front of you.
Right.
It works wonders.
Why did you write the book?
I wrote the book because I realized too, when you teach children, because I've had two students in particular,
It's okay,
who went through some things. But I think no child
Wow.
should.
Wow.
And I am not in the classroom now, I'm not going to call any names, anything like that. But I realized that when that child was in trouble, I had to go beyond the call of duty.
Right.
And even though maybe they would have said that, okay, that's not your responsibility, that's not your duty, I thought that if I had gone straight through the channels, it wouldn't be dealt with in the manner in which it should be.
Right.
Because you see all of this bureaucracy and this red tape, sometimes it just don't work.
Yeah, matters worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
You understand me? And you have to wait your son, you have to go, you have to move from this one to this one to this one to this one, while the suffering is not on pause.
Right.
The hurt is not on pause.
Right.
You understand? So some things you need to, if we have a fast forward button, I would press it enough times when it comes to some things, because we need to, skip and speed it up. You understand me? But those two girls, my heart bleed.
Wow.
And I realized that, okay, some of these ladies, you have your lovely gentleman, your baby daddy, your man, your boyfriend, your husband, your booby, whatever you want to call him. You understand? Sorry, people, that's me. Whatever you want to call him. Listen, some of them don't come pure. They don't come pure.
Yeah.
And I can listen. You have some children that are mischievous. Let us not forget that.
Right. But they're kids.
But if you as a parent have your child, boy or girl, and they say, Mom, Dad, this person touched me. This person is coming in my room in the night. Don't just shut the child down.
Right.
And don't jump on anybody either, but try to come up with something. Devise a plan, something. At least look into what the child is saying.
Yeah.
You cannot dismiss the child. And when this child is 13 and she turn up 2 months pregnant, what do you do?
Yeah.
When your grandfather is your father, what do you do?
Jano. And the unfortunate thing is that these things are happening. And they're happening.
But that's a real scenario that I just gave you.
Yeah, I know. It's happening in our community. It's funny, and no one is immune to the trials and tribulations of life. But it pops up a little bit too often in our communities, you know what I mean? And we try to act like it only happened. We almost TV it, like, it happens over there. But how often is it happening in your neighbor? You hear about it, you know what I mean? So if me hear about it over my neighbor, why should I be anything but prepared and ready and have my cutlass on deck? I'm sorry, yo. Well, if me hear about it, because my thing is this: if I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt, don't get me wrong, things can happen. It might not be so, but if I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to the person to the victim, until proven otherwise.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, especially a child who really can protect themselves, not only physically but mentally from that something else.
That's it. And something to G Cole. This book is very relatable. Because if you yourself have never been faced with it, you know somebody who has. Or you know somebody who knows somebody who has. We see it on TV. You see it in the community. You read in the papers. And people face it different places. In your workplace. But you see the worst part of it is when it happens in the place you call home.
Yeah, your sanctuary.
Where do you go? Because that's supposed to be your safe haven. Where do you go?
Yeah.
Who do you run to? When you think that your mommy is that protective shield that you need, that you rely on, that in your head you know from her to heaven say, Mommy are the G. And when you are faced with that and you open your mouth because you swear Mommy have your back and you say, Mom, Ronald touch me.
Right.
And she open her hand and give you one upside of your head and say, don't call Ronald name.
Right.
You know?
You're too fast.
Look by you.
No, yeah,
What,
so.
you think Ronald would want you?
Yeah. Well, damn.
Where that child turn? Who that child turn to?
Yeah. You are the protector, you're not protecting, so where do they go?
Exactly. And that's why even as teachers too, some of you really don't have it in you. You're not that caring. And as I said, you have some people, it's a means to an end. But you see, open your eyes too. And I remember, and I'm going to say this quickly, I remember I work at a school. I was at grade 1, so they are 6-year-old. And when I went there was this child in the classroom. In the middle of my class, she would bawl out, "Why? What a stress!" And she'd grab up her body parts and...
What?
Yeah. And I found it totally off. Because I know that you have children who are loud, but you see just our whole, attitude. I say, something else is going on. Now, I was just there for like 2 months. At the time, the other teachers were there before me, and I remember I brought up the subject to one teacher. I said, something is off with that girl. And she looked at me and she said, no, a big yard she growing up. I saw the one of them stay. Long story short, her brother was in grade 8. The grade 8 brother was molesting her.
Right.
Grade 6.
Right.
Grade 6-year-old, grade 1. And I just knew, and I encourage people to be vigilant. When I got there, I just knew something. I don't know how, I just knew something was wrong.
Let me ask you this. When situations like those arise, and you see stuff like that, so oftentimes we say to ourselves, they are either protecting what's at home or turning a blind eye, or they're kind of like the person's at Big Yard you grew up, right? What that almost makes me think is it a situation where you say, boy, she probably does know and probably no less aware of it than you are, but are you accepting the stuff that happened at Big Yard, or do you undervalue the kids that grew up in a Big Yard?
I think it's a little bit of both. And I think for most part, you see the stigma, just like when people talk about people from the ghetto, and they align people from the ghetto with a certain kind of attitude and a certain kind of behavior and think nothing good can come from the ghetto. You have people who, as if you, what they call it, tenement yard. If you're growing a tenement yard, they expect you to behave a particular way. They expect you to sound apart, just like when you come from country. Or like how I come from Trelawney, and people say, oh, you really come from Trelawney? They expect you to sound a particular way. You know, come back, come down. And I said to them, nobody from me speak like that. You understand?
So might that true.
No. And I'm saying, they expect everybody to sound like that. You understand what I'm saying? And I say, nobody in my yard, nobody in my home talk about the come back, come down, or come up. You know? No.
Oh my God.
Exactly. So I have people, even I do YouTube, and people would say, oh, I remember I went to somebody's channel and I was just in time, the person said, oh, you hear Tara over there struggling to talk patois? And I was in the chat and I said, me there.
Big up yourself.
100%.
Sometimes you have to say one word. It's like you validate your Jamaican citizenship. Listen, here's what I'll say as I was doing my research. 9 times out of 10, when I see situations like yours, the perpetrators, right? The predators, the rapists, them if we could call a speed, normally get away. They got away scotch-free. In this case, that wasn't the case.
All right. As the book depicts, how should I put it? So, first of all, at the top of the book, it said true story. But this is not a book outing anybody.
Right.
Because we have been that place, and I tell people it's not what you go through, but how you come through what you go through. So we have passed that place. So, how it is written, for some parts, I had to deviate a little bit because we're not looking at any identification period to happen.
Right.
You understand? So, that part is to show. And for those who are going to read the book, for not wanting to give away too much, it all comes down to support. And that belief. When you open your mouth, who pays attention?
Right.
Because many a time, can a 14-year-old do it for herself?
No.
She needs help.
Yeah.
He needs help if it's a boy.
Yeah.
Because we have to factor in the boy into it.
At 14, you can't do that, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if your child opens her mouth or his mouth and say, what, are you going to pay attention? Are you now going to be a little bit more vigilant?
Right.
And are you willing to go the course with your child if she decides to open her mouth and say, this is it? Okay, so if we call the police, are you willing to talk? Yes, mom. Are you going to be that mother, that father that is going to sit beside your child, stand beside your child, lay beside your child, whatever is required of you?
Right.
You understand me? The challenge, though, we must admit, most times, apart from the gardeners and those people that we bring in at the house, when the husband gone to work, I bring him in, give him little ice water till I start give him a piece of curry chicken. He move from the counter right at the doorway till him sit down on the table and him feel comfortable. Till him in at the couch and watch TV. And he's looking at your daughter. And you don't realize.
Wow.
Because that's how it is. We make up is 90-something% of the time is somebody that is close to you.
Yeah.
Now, people always ask the question too, why you don't talk? Then you go back to how you were taught, because we are people who were taught to love each other. We were taught, even as a child, you protect your family. No, if me love uncle, why I would want uncle to get in trouble?
Right, right.
These predators already know that. And I tell people, say these predators, when it comes to psychology,
Them have it.
PhD.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't realize that, so they just think it's simple. That's how they can manipulate this situation. So they already know. So when they come and they tell us, say, oh, don't tell our uncle, you know, because uncle, we get in trouble. You don't want uncle to get in trouble. And sometimes when they threaten you,
Which
I mean,
normally
they
is
say
the case, though.
they go and do this to your daddy, do this to your mommy. You keep your mouth shut. So there are many people who have gone through certain things. Sometimes when you reach big person and when you write something, that is when your mother know that it's you.
Right, right.
You understand me? That is when your sister understand that, okay, this happened. Now, when you know these people too, and somebody molests you, you've gone through it and you come forward. This person now turn a pastor.
Oh, Lord. I know them pure. Know
And
them clean.
sometimes, oh, faith, I don't know if I should call it that. Somehow, the wife of that person try to cling to you. And there are times when you are tempted to say, you see your husband when you have.
Fire.
And then sometimes you pull back because you realize that this person is going to be hurting, this person is, and they have nothing at all to do with it. So you see, sometimes the decision, and it goes to that question when people ask, how so why you never talked before? Why you never call him name? Sometimes, I tell people, say sometimes the who is even worse than the act sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you see, when you open your eyes and you see that person who is supposed to protect you, is the same person who is ridding you of your innocence,
Yeah.
that will kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you look at the fight that you have to take on, this person is a pastor, this person is a lecturer, everybody that you know
Respect
who
them. Yeah.
have him on high pedestals,
Yeah.
so you're in for the fight of your life. First of all, you with your little poor self on here, so you can't even afford one lawyer good. He's going to get the best lawyer to come, and the lawyer going to rape you and he stand again for him.
And that's just in the court, cause public opinion, the court of public opinion
Don't
done.
even talk about that.
Done.
When
Yeah.
them done and then put you down and then bury you, them dig up the body and bury you again.
Yeah.
And for those who come after the fact, you're down 6 feet already and then stamp you down 6 more, put you down 12.
It's the craziest thing about it all is, one, it is so true. Two, it is so common, right? Too common. It's another conversation we have all the time. How many of our leaders, I don't want to say pastors because them are some of them too, but just leaders overall, people we look up to who are culprits, but now they live in another life. But the fact that you're living another life doesn't mean that what you did doesn't exist, right? And a lot of times the new life that you're living is not, because here's how I feel about criminals, rapists, and people like them. I don't think people change. I think them age out. That is just how I look at it. A lot of times the people right now say me not do it no more. It's because you age out right about now. You're not physically able to restrain nobody no more, so that's why you probably not do it.
And you know, there's something that may validate what you said, because, all right, this instance with this pastor man. I remember when I got a call, and he called me, and he said, through Facebook, because we don't communicate like that.
Right.
You know, I answered. Something just lead me to answer, because I said, years me no hear from you. Years me no see nothing. It must be something. And I answered. First he started off and he said, I don't know if you remember that little thing there. I said,
that little thing there?
yeah. I said, what little thing? Oh, you remember what happened? I said, on the contrary, I never forget. You can't ask me if I remember. I never forget. So let's just start there.
Right.
You know, I'm sorry. And I know I was wrong. Blah, blah, blah. It does not cure you. It does not rid you from it. But something happening here. Because one, it kind of make you know say you're not go cuckoo.
Right. Right.
You understand me?
Right. Acknowledgement.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something else in you that say, at least him knows him wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're not supposed to do that. And it gives you that. And it can't take what him do, but you have that.
Mm-hmm.
So it signifies some sort of hope.
Right.
You know? That, oh, okay, so you know you're not supposed to do this, blah, blah, blah.
Hopefully you're not doing it no more.
Amen.
Mm.
And then the person will say to me, but I am living so and so, you can meet me.
What? So after all of that,
You ever hear them say, like the cow give a bucket of milk and him turn around and kick it over? Boom.
so even what was supposed to be you somewhat redeeming yourself was not really you redeeming yourself, is you're setting yourself up for the next.
So, you know, somebody lift you up so a little bit and they just let you go and drop you. No, this person, I think this person is sick. Very sick too. Because the fact that you are where you are undisturbed by me, me no business with you. I remember you because you have left a mark here. But me no business with you. And you can get up for whatever reason and you make that call and you say, you know what? I am sorry. And then in the same breath, after I feel like, okay.
Right.
So there's hope for anybody else that he's going to come in contact with. You
Right.
know, because you know you're not supposed to do it. And then you go turn around and say, oh, but I would like to start something. I live so and so. Can you meet me?
It's evident then that your remorse not real.
That keep me down clean.
Yeah, no. Maybe
So I'm just telling you. So sometimes, as you say, people age out.
Yeah. Sometimes
You understand
not.
me? And sometimes they realize that they don't have the strength to pin you down and hold you down and do all sorts
try a
of
different
something.
approach.
You understand me?
Because it is highly likely that he probably still thinks that he had a mental hold or power over you. Because in all honesty, that's probably what he was counting on if you do face it. Because again, you're not a child anymore, so you might not be able to hold it down. But you probably are counting on the fact that maybe I have a mental stronghold.
Yeah, because you have heard people who fell in love with their rapist, their abuser,
Stockholm
them
syndrome.
kind of all those kind of things,
Yeah.
which is so sad. But many people, and you see, if you have a close friend who a social worker, they're not, because I have a friend who is a social worker. She don't tell me people's business, but she'll share some situations. I don't know who she's talking about. That's not important. But even incest, it is more prevalent than any of us think.
Rampant.
That was the shocker for me.
Oh, so that's a family member?
Yeah.
Oh, Jano. So two fire.
Let me tell you something. People, don't be vigilant.
Yeah.
And let us not fool ourselves. You see them, and when they approach you, even because people will approach you and then they smile and say, "Oh, I am joking."
Yeah.
The
most
moment
serious
it can
things
come
I
out
said.
of your mouth,
Yeah. That abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Yeah, the tongue just manifests what your mind
some
feels.
just test you a little bit.
Yeah. It's
You
a
know,
bait. It's a bait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see how you will respond.
Yeah.
You
Do you
know-
bite the bait?
Yeah. And even if you don't bite, but you don't reject it
Yeah.
totally,
Yeah.
they think that they have a chance.
You're not upset, so you must be okay with
Yeah,
it.
you know, when we knock at the door till it open,
Yeah, yeah.
which
You-
is kind of sad.
Kinda. It is.
Well-
It is. It's. let me ask you this, because you used the word just now, right? And I hear the word a lot. Sick. You said this, brother must be sick. I've had this conversation with people all the time, and they say, "Yeah, a person must sick." I mean, say, "Yeah, but the person is evil," right? Because
The evil come with the sickness.
because me no. Sometimes when me use the word sick, me almost feel like I'm giving you an out. You know what I mean? So it's like, say, boy, if me see you in the streets, I ain't purporting no violence, ladies and gentlemen, but you
It's a
don't know.
special kind of sickness.
Is well,
It's a special. No, because listen to me. And I say to people, all right, so for this instant that I'm referring to, I'm just going to open and speak about it. And I tell people that I'm not a fighter. I'm not somebody that is physical like that. I don't like quarreling. I don't like those things. Mind you, I'm a straight shooter and I right to the hips. But,
Right.
You know, I say what I have to say and we move right along.
keep it moving.
Take it or you leave it. And if you want to leave, by. Close the door on your way out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I am not a fighter. And I too am an entrepreneur, so I do business.
Right.
I do the lovely potato puddings and those stuff.
I heard about him.
Yes, you understand? We do the birthdays and the parties. If you're into Jamaican food, the jerk chicken, all of that.
I heard about him.
And I remember on this particular day, I made 6 puddings. I was in Jamaica. And these people were going to England, so they wanted it. And I sat up the night, peeled those potato great, and I went and I delivered them. It was after 8 in the night. I was standing at the roadway waiting on the taxi. It was taking a bit long. I went across the road where there was a supermarket because it was hot too. So I got myself a bottle of water. I stood at the refrigerator door and I drank it. I remember everything like it was yesterday.
Wow.
And I would travel with the bottle and go to the cashier to cash, even though I finished it. I was just about to come out and I saw this person. He, as I said before, he's a pastor. He's also a lecturer. I was about to step out and he was coming in. And he said to me, you know what? Is you I saw? Why I come? Because I know you're not usually on the road at this time of the night, whatever. When I tell you I skipped to that ride, I mean I skipped like a little child.
Right.
Because I wanted to go. And this is somebody that I knew for over 16 years. This is somebody that I've gotten ride with before. This is somebody that I trusted wholeheartedly. So I was happy. He said that, so I said, okay. He said that, I'm sure you're going home. I said, yes. And I went. No, I am from Trelawney. We get to a point, we're flanked by cane piece or cane field. Cane fields on your left, cane fields on your right.
Right.
And he got to a point and he said that he wanted to urinate. No, I don't say anything funny about that. Your body parts that you need to use to urinate. So when he stopped, there was a little turn off. I think that's where the tractors go in, whatever they do. So he turned off the road and stopped there. He came out of the car and he went to do his business. I don't need to peep at you. You know where your body parts, you carry it with you.
Right.
And I had, the time everybody have a Lime phone and a digital phone. So I had the 2 phones in my hand. And because I was up baking and so I did not cook, so I purchased something for my daughter to eat. So I had that, in my hand. And he came around and he said that he wanted something in the glove compartment. No, I don't see anything wrong with that because this is your car. And I kid you not, that man opened the door and he went to the glove compartment and the next thing he was on top of me.
Wow.
I don't know how he moved so quickly, but he pulled the chair and I was up, the rice coming down in my eyes, teeth and tongue. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was on top.
Right.
I could not react in that moment because I was just shell-shocked.
Shocked about yeah.
But when I recover, I just finished whatever was left in my hand. I just let it go. So, and when I realized his intention, I was saying to him, are you really going to do this? Mind you, this person don't even speak broken language, proper English, because I said he was a lecturer and pastor. And he was saying to me, I have dreamt about this so many times. He said, how many times I thought about this?
What?
And I was there trying to process. Mind you, I was still recovering, so my hand was not even strong enough. So I made upon 1.5 cylinder.
Right.
And when I look around and I said, but this is exactly where a young lady about 2 years before came from abroad and she did not make it home. That is where they found the body. So right away in my head, I'm saying, oh my God.
I ate this.
So I said to myself, and I said, are you really good? It was the same person, but he was different. I don't know how to explain it. It was the same person, but he was different. And, I was there and he was going at it. I had on a long dress down to my ankle. And when I was not opening my legs, that man went for his pliers. I have marks in my side, even now. And that man you could hear the flesh tearing
With the pliers?
with the pliers, and when you feel the warm trickle of that blood running down your side, down in your legs, and it was going. And I said to myself, well, this is it. Is it that you're going to kill me to get to what you're going to do? Or are we going to fight this out?
Right.
If you kill me. And I fought, but I peed myself.
Right.
That was when he stopped.
Oh. So that's what you have to do for a long time.
Yes. And I said to myself, it is so funny. And God worked in me. I've never seen so much pee.
Right.
And I know that in a funny way, God must have intervened.
Get a bucket of water.
Listen to me. You know, when I was finished and I was trying to move, my side was all torn up. The pain. In pop out the piece of hand already. Pop it out again. And then I was trying to make my way to the roadway. But I said, nobody's going to stop.
Right.
First of all, where we are, any taxi man is going to think that maybe I'm a decoy, something.
Right.
You know, so everything start go off in my head. When I look to where I'm coming from, all I can see is Canefield. When I look to where I'm going, all I can see is Canefield. And I said to myself, he must have planned this because we were in the middle
of nowhere.
You understand what I'm saying? We were in the middle, and I said, oh my God. You know, I had to go home in the car with him.
Oh, wow.
Because first of all, I had to move and use myself to draw this foot behind me. I could not.
Right.
No, the entire side of this dress, the dress was all torn up. Like them mega police dog for me. You understand me? I had a slippers, and at the time, funny, my daughter gave me that slippers, as young as she was, because it was her. So, mommy, I think this would look better on your foot. And when I move, you hear squish, squish, because it was full of blood.
Wow.
My own blood. You know, and I went back in the car because I had no choice. And it brought me to a point where it would be like 5 minutes you walk, if so much, from that point to my house. I said, I don't want him to take me to my house. And I stopped there. Luckily, the roadway was clear. But when I got around the corner, I heard voices, and I said, oh, am I going to hide from these people? Because anybody look at me.
You've been through something.
Yeah. You know, they change out the normal light post, and they put the concrete post in, which is bigger. There was a concrete post, and it cast a shadow. My brain said to me, stand in the shadow. You know? So I stood there, and they came. Lo and behold, these people know me, and we talk good, because I have good relations with people.
Right.
I turned my side, and I was just praying. When they were talking, I was just praying for them to go. I just want to sit. I want to lay down. I was in too much pain, and I wanted nobody to question me.
Right.
Luckily, for whatever reason, they did not stop. I had to wait until they bend the corner door, because I am hobbling, you know?
Right.
If they turn around and see me, they're going to ask me something.
What's up? Yeah.
You know? And I made it to my house. My daughter is the type of person, if I go out, because of the accident that I was in and the state, she has always been afraid. So if I leave, it doesn't matter what time, she's not sleeping. So she was waiting. So when I went down the stairs, I had like 24 stairs to go down where I was living. That was agony.
Wow.
To go down those steps. When I got down, I put my hand on the grill, but I said, how am I going to go in like this? There was a pipe at the side. She heard the grill, and she said, Mom, and something said to me, say, go to the pipe. I put my entire body under the pipe, so I was wet from head to toe, you know, trying to wash. And she said, Mom, why would you be under the pipe? My neighbor had many dogs, and you know, the dog mess in the road. I'm not a good liar, you know, but that came just in time. And I said to her, she said, why are you on? I said, you know what, I stepped in the mess and it touched my dress because the dress was long. She said, and you wash everything? I said, yes, because I feel so dirty. I don't know how it came, because even, you know. And I said, all right, after I wet this, but I wet and the blood keep coming. The blood keep coming. I said, oh, am I going to go in? So I knew she was hungry, so I said to her, there's pizza in the freezer. What I want you to do, darling, is to go to the freezer, take out the pizza, and you're going to take it out of what it is in, and I start instructing her. trying to eyeball my way to go through the side door to get in that bathroom and hope I don't have a long trail of blood behind me.
Right.
You understand me? I took the slippers off and there was a, what we call a sour orange tree.
Yeah.
And I took the slippers under that tree and leave it out there because the slippers was soaked.
Yeah.
You understand me? Inside was clear, so she would have seen it. And I hobbled, go in, because I just held the dress up, so when the blood come in, it just, collect in a little part. And I don't know how I reached in the bathroom, and I closed the door. She said, "Mom, you okay?" I said, "Yes." And I started washing myself off.
Wow.
And I washed. And then I said, "Oh, I'm going to need a towel."
Yeah.
I have to ask her to bring the towel. No, the top layer had a whole lot of white towel. Yeah, me, Jesus, please don't make she take up the white towel because this is going to be a dead giveaway.
No.
I had one blue towel, a navy blue towel. She brought the navy blue towel when I asked her. And I whispered in there, I said, "God, thank you." Wow. I wrapped that towel around me. And I had to wrap because the blood was just seeping through. I said, all right. I went in and I grabbed for a black night gown that I put it on. She ate the usual. That's the time I gave her permission to come in the room with the pizza. Because normally I don't do eating in the bedroom.
Right.
And she came in and all this time she was talking and she was doing that. She has her room, but she sleep in my bed. And all that time I was processing, how we going to sleep in another bed there together tonight?
Wow.
Because nothing can touch the side.
Right.
And let me tell you, I itched up in the corner, as we would have said. Right up in the corner, and she always on me. Sometimes when I wake up, her foot up on my head. Listen to me. I pray for daylight so she can go to school. There's a taxi man that I use. I called him the next morning because I could not go anywhere to get a taxi. And he took me to the doctor. We went to the doctor. When I went in, he looked at me. He said, "Who did it?" He didn't ask me what happened initially. He said, "Who did it?" I said, "Who did what?" He said, "Come on."
Right.
He knew me as Miss Smith. He said, "Come on, Miss Smith."
Right.
And he said, "Are you going to report it to the police?" I said, "Not right now."
Right.
And he said to me, "You are the 15th person come through this doctor's door with this issue." He said, "You know how many out of the 15 was reported?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "1. Wow. He said, "You know why? This was underage and I took an oath. I had a duty and a responsibility. So I had to report it to the police."
Right.
The other lady said no.
Right. And they were old enough to say that.
Yes. And he turned to me and he said, "How you are looking? If you were my sister, if you're not reporting to the police, 2 men would have to pay Jimmy. He wouldn't have any knee cup, he wouldn't have any elbow," and he started naming. I tell you, it was terrible. I hid it from my family.
Right.
I knew something like that would kill my mother.
Right.
So I said nothing. And I kept it, and I kept going to the doctor, get it dressed. First time my mom is going to hear that I got 8 stitches.
Wow.
I've never said anything regarding that. But you know what was amazing? He thought he did nothing wrong.
And he expressed that back then?
Yeah, because one question that he asked, because after some days, I have a friend who drove a black car too. Lovely people. So I remember hearing the car blowing at the gate, and I wobbled, take my time, go up. And I thought it was the other person. When I was standing there and the window came down and I looked in his face.
I am.
Oh my God. Nothing worked. I was just standing there. There was nothing coming from my mouth. I could not move. I think the shock just temporarily paralyzed me. And I stood there. When I said, "Listen to me, don't you dare because he must have asked and they direct him which house it was. You understand me? Before I moved off, he said to me, Tara, tell me one thing. Was there, even for a minute, anything that you enjoyed? Anything that you liked?
Wow. So he's still on the prowl.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
People would ask, why didn't you? As I said before, everybody that I know have that person on a high pedestal. So
Respect to
utmost respect for him. He has a lovely wife, 2 children. There was nobody that I could think of in that place that would
I would believe
me.
a single word you said.
And when I thought about, after reliving all of that, when I thought about him getting the best lawyer possible, who's going to rip me apart on that stand, who's going to bring me to a point where I have to relive all of this, who is going to try 10 different ways to discredit what I am going to say, I was not mentally ready.
Right.
I was not mentally strong enough.
Right.
And I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. I did go back and there was somebody, I was working at a particular place at the time. The individual recognized that something was off. And I remember he said, what's up? I said, nothing. He said, no. There's something wrong with you. Now I tried to hold it in. I remember one day I was there and somebody was coming through the gate. I just saw the person from back, but shaped like him, and listen to me.
Lose it.
I was under the desk. I was wet as ever. Panic attack take me. And everybody was pounding on the door, pounding on the window. Miss Smith, open up, open up.
This is at work.
Yes. I could not manage.
Wow.
And when they recognized that I guess I would look like maybe some frightened cat, they broke the window. And one came in and he pulled me out and he started shaking me like
Wow.
And he said, Miss Smith, Miss Smith. By that time, the man got up to the window and I realized that it was not him.
Right.
You know when every energy just ebbed from your body and you just collapsed. I was light as a feather.
Wow.
Everything was just gone. So I can tell people this thing will kill you.
Yeah.
This thing will kill you.
Yeah. Don't try to. That's what I say. Don't try to understand why people did or did not.
This thing will kill you. And it took me a while. It took me a while to come to terms. And I remember that same individual said, listen, you can't go it alone. I know you have always been a strong individual, but this one, you can't go it alone. He said, are you going to report it? I said, no. He said, are you going to tell me who it is? I said, no. He said, well, listen to me. That supermarket that you went to is my friend's supermarket. I am going to spend the entire week and go through that video.
Wow.
The video footage and see if I can see who. When it gets to that point, and I remember he came in and he said, I know who it is. And I said to him, do you? He said, yes, I was up. Do you see my eyes? They're red. I was up the entire night going through, And I said to him, all right. He said, I know somebody from the rape unit. I know somebody from that section. I'm going to tell him that you're going to call him. And he was pressing me. I said, all right, give me his number. And I took the number. When I called him, I said, listen to me. Can we talk off the air? And I sat and I spoke to him, and he was trying to convince me to press charges, to go, even though he did not get to a certain, press charges. Just talking to him alone, I was so tired. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
But I spoke to him, he advised me. But that thing took a toll on me. That was when I learned that I was allergic to heat. Now I live in Jamaica, everywhere hot. I went to the hairdresser, I go under the dryer, and everybody run out left me because everywhere the heat touched, my ears was as big as Dumbo. My forehead this big, my head back this big, the the base of my neck, everything.
Right.
You know? No, I'm telling you. Oh my God. I can laugh about it now because I have got to
I know the professor.
listen to me. Everything that I've never experienced before. And that was when I realized that stress brought on by trauma is the worst thing possible that you can go through. Is the worst thing you can face.
Right.
You understand me? No. I have been chatting for a while, so I'm going to.
No, you know, and here's the thing. I appreciate it because I know it's strong as you are as a human being. It's not the easiest thing to verbalize because it's going there again. So, on behalf of the people watching, I need to say thank you first of all to just telling your story. I'm gonna ask you a couple of, well, not questions, but I'm gonna ask you to speak to some people because, a lot of times I think we take the stuff with us and we need to verbalize it to some folks, right? First of all, young Tara, what would you say to her?
Try to be a little bit brave. Trust yourself. And sometimes it's okay to understand that there are times when you're not going to be okay.
Right.
But you see those people who love you, the people who truly love you, they love you regardless. Wow. So whenever it comes in your mind to speak. If they truly love you, they love you regardless.
Wow.
Whether you face trauma, you're loved. After the trauma, you're loved. During processing the trauma, you're loved. Genuine love does not have a season. It doesn't have a time.
Right.
It doesn't have a specific place.
Right.
It is everywhere, anytime, every day.
You said that your family supported you. Speak to them.
All I can say is love. and thank you guys for being there every step of the way. Even when I mess up on a draw me up short. Even the younger ones who were like, couldn't bigger than me.
The young girls that don't know you, that'll probably never meet you. What do you say to them?
If I can do it, you can. If I can do it, you can. And I will say to people, it's not what you go through, but how you come through what you go through. You understand me? Everybody experiences something or another that tries to break them at some point in their life. Let nobody fool you. Other people's trauma and other people's obstacles and mountains and roadblocks and roundabout may be different from yours. But everyone, as my husband often say, everybody have them crucibles.
Wow. Big up.
You understand me? So at
Absolutely.
some point, be very wary of the people who pretend like they have never faced anything.
Right.
Like they have everything all together. Not a thing goes so.
Jono.
I was not always like this. You understand me?
Yeah.
But the love of God and love, patience, and the fact that I come to realize to whom I belong.
Bigger than us.
Yes. And that's it too.
Wow.
God is bigger than anything that you have faced.
Right.
And anybody that thinks that they can go through it alone, we'll have a next guest coming, as my granny would have said.
What do you say to predators? Because here's a funny thing about social media and TV and all them things. Them I watch too. What do you say to them?
Let me fix it the proper way, because I don't want to say things on your that I'm not supposed to say.
It's all good. You get a blind.
Jesus, please.
You get a blind.
Listen to me. You males, because I can't even call on a man. You males, as it relates to sexual abuse, man up. There are big women out there. Some easy, some not so easy, some hard. but you can. Go look on the size. Go look your size in raw patois. Go look your size. Leave people's child alone. They're underage and it is wrong.
Yeah.
You all know that it is wrong. And I think that you are weak. Not somebody called weakling. When you can approach and when you can beat down somebody's child, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14, 15, 16, and you listen to me. When you can rob these people of their innocence, have you no shame?
Wow.
And I will include the baby mothers who know what your baby father is doing.
And protect them.
Who know what your boyfriend is doing. And for the love of God, mothers, you are their first love. Most times if you teach them, they'll adhere to their teachings. Some will stray, but most time they return. Stop covering what your sons are doing. Yeah. If it's wrong, it's wrong. One way wrong spell, there's no other spelling. That's it, point blank, period. As it relates to the judicial system, that is a mockery.
Right.
Who rape you another time? Who abuse you another time? Because sometimes by the time some of these cases move through the system,
yeah, your
hope is already lost.
Yeah, you give up.
You already feel defeated, and it matters not what comes of it because you're done.
Right.
All that energy has been sapped from you, and you're now left in a place where uncertainty looms.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So unlike that, it needs revamping, renew. You don't need to dash it out up to the courthouse. You don't need to throw oversee and build a new. Because it's ridiculous.
I'm glad you addressed that because that's something that is, And I was going to ask you, speak to the judiciary system. Do me a favor. Speak to young girls who have gone through or are going through right now.
As I say, your past don't have to define you. It can refine you. And there's 3 C's that I base everything on. That is also the basis of the webinar that I'm preparing. You never caused it. You can't control the person who does it. You can't cure him either.
Wow.
So those 3, and when you recognize and you understand what those 3 C's are about, then you start the first step.
The healing.
Yes.
Wow.
Because most times the causation, and people always say, oh, what were you wearing? You know? People always go to that and them short clothes.
What did you do?
Yes. I'm saying if the child turns up in front of you naked, you know not to touch.
Yeah, that's a
You
child.
should know that you're not supposed to touch because that is wrong.
Yeah.
There's no going around it. There's no beating around the bush. It is wrong.
Right.
So when you get to that point, young ladies, and listen to me, you have to be careful who you speak to. But trust me, there's always somebody. And I leave my information too, so anybody that is listening and you want to reach out, we can talk privately. You can get the information as to the webinar coming up and all of that. You'll have a safe space to share, and we'll be transparent as possible because we're not into hiding. We're not putting up any facade. We're not trying to fake anything. Because life is real. Experiences are real. You understand me? The healing process, you have to touch reality before you can move forward. So listen, we don't fake nothing for make nothing around here, so straight up. So if you are that person and you're ready, reach out.
Right.
You understand me? I'll leave my information, but just know that unfortunately you're not the only one. And if others can survive, you can too. If others can come through, and when you have gone and you come through, the victory is even sweeter.
Wow.
You understand me? You need to look in that mirror and remind yourself how beautiful you are. And remember that you're God's precious creation. Because things could have gone another way and you're no longer with us.
Right.
The fact that God have you here, He's not done with you yet. And there's something on the horizon. And I tell people the sun will come out tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So just stay the course and listen to me. People always say, be strong. Okay, you don't need to be strong every day. We have weak moments. Any day you feel like ball.
It's okay.
I do that sometimes when I get to that point, or I'm feeling physical pain. I dry my face. I'll go cry in the bathroom and then I dry my face and come out like a brand new second hand. Yeah? You understand? I'm ready to go again. You understand me? Because listen to me.
So you always got to be tough.
No. And we need to teach people that. It does not require you to be tough all the time. Because that's not how life set up. We have weak moments. Ball if you feel like ball, and if you're touch one and you want to cry, you cry. But dry your face, square those shoulders, tilt your chin up, and step out.
Wow.
Because you got you more than anybody else. Trust me on that.
I love that.
Yeah.
And finally, because I definitely we need to get into some of this entrepreneurship and some of this putting on stuff. Finally, looking in the mirror and talk to Tara. What you got to tell her?
Oh, girl, you're blessed.
Yeah, no.
You're blessed. And I tell people every time, I know that I'm loved.
Wow.
For those who question that, a long time, I've never questioned that.
Right.
I know that I am loved.
Right.
And I think that in itself,
So that was never up for question.
no, I am loved.
I love it.
And I know that.
The book is Trapped in Freedom.
Available on Amazon, e-copy, and paperback. And it's quite cheap, I must add. I like to throw that in. It's less than $15.
I don't like that word there.
Well, it's inexpensive. Because, some people go and say, oh, how much for the book?
Yeah.
It's inexpensive for a very expensive story.
3 Guineas.
You understand? Talk truth.
3 Guineas. I ate that.
Yes.
3 Guineas.
So, there you have it.
We have a smile over there, so it metal say smile coming like as a smile LED, right? Talk to me about entrepreneurship, lovely lady. Talk to me. Some things in front there. Talk to me.
All right, G Cole, it's nice to be here. Nice meeting you.
Pleasure.
And I owe it all to my sister in success, Tara. And we have been together as friends, quote unquote, sisters, entrepreneurship, partners, everything, we bounce off each other. And it's always a pleasure, as she said, talking and working with people who, are like-minded, who are wanting to go the same as you are, and just building and helping each other as women in business, in love, in everything, just to make sure that everybody reaches their full potential, and of course serve our world in the best way possible. So that's a little bit of who I am. Teacher by profession, has done that or have been doing that for 20 years.
Wow. Since you're 2.
Right. So, no, not since I'm 2, but yes. Yeah, I know. So that's professionally. Been here in the United States just about 5 years. Have delved in teaching as well. Now in the health sector, doing that. And whilst teaching, I majored in home economics back home. Taught that for all those years as well. So it's innate, it's in me to be always cooking, doing things, that is homey. Right? So it has now come to the fore where COVID hit. Yes? And we're like, what is this gonna cause us to do right now? Like, we can't be here sitting in the house. This is not Jamaica. Nobody's gonna put up with you not paying their rent, not doing whatever you have to do, take care of yourself, take care of your son, and all of that. So it kicked in, Shalewa, you have been baking for all this time and giving away your services. So why not
Charge them.
do something? And even before it became a bigger thing right now, I was taking these cakes to my clients, and one lady said to me, they call me Shay for short, you should put this out in the stores. I'm like, I'm not sure about that. I can just go around and sell it to a few persons here and there, just like what I'm doing with you. She said, no, I see people doing their YouTube, and she even offered at that time to give me her kitchen to do the filming and all of that. And I was, and she sews and she made me an apron, and I have it and all of that. But one day I went into a supermarket and I looked at the front, they had little stuff there, and I said, I wouldn't present my stuff like this, so I could do this too.
Right.
Just as Tara was, showing off that, if she has done it, well, you can do it too. So I said, yeah, Shalewa, you wouldn't present something like that, but if these people are doing this and they're making money, then I can do it too. So that, again, hit me, and I started doing it and, going around making, delivering to people, blah, blah, blah. And I approached the supermarket supervisor, and she's like, of course, not a Jamaican at that time as well, mark you, or anything, not black, but she offered to say, yes, I will take her stuff, so, and I brought it in, she took them, I was happy, all of that, and, I said, all right, a Jamaican store down the road, I'm going to try them to another supermarket down the road, and it, was picking up and all of that. Guys, believe you me, after approaching one or two the Jamaican shops as far as over maybe 20 miles, 50 miles driving to get to these stores, people would say, oh, I can make that. I don't think I can take people's stuff in my shop. I don't take people's stuff. And I'm like, what are you saying? All these stuff are for people.
Right.
But,
right.
Okay, no problem. I have one store now that is a Jamaican store over there, and we're coming from all the way in Lehigh. She's coming from, I'm coming from Lehigh. She's all the way in Port Charlotte. So, it's a drive to come over here.
Right.
But I have these cakes in Good to Go restaurant and grocery in Lehigh Acres, and they've been doing pretty well. Kudos to them for pushing me as well, always supporting, always helping, and all of that. And I just say that as well to say, as Jamaicans, we should be looking out for our own some more. We're looking out for each other some more. Because, right, the operative word. Should. The mentality that I preach and Tara knows is that we need to look into how the Chinese operate. Yes? How they really mean what they say when it comes on, or what we know as the All for One mentality, one for all. That is what they preach. That is what they do from day one, from the birth of their child until to the death. All they operate on is business and how we can make better off the next generation. Right? Nobody is pushing nobody out of line to get more than the other or to show off on the other. We build each other for the best for everyone, right? For the community. You don't see them coming into a Jamaican store, do you? But we are going all over the place. We have to learn as a community, as a black community as well, to really align ourselves to make it, to make ourselves even more powerful. And we are in order for ourselves, but we need to do more in order that the younger generation, the upcoming persons and people who are trying will really, be elevated. Who really put these other brands where they are. Right. Who does it?
The community. Yeah.
Most times too, when we check it, it's the black community.
Is that
on the other side of the fence.
Support everybody else. Yeah.
But to do it for our own, we shy away.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that way. But the cap of moving from teacher, coming here, really starting over. It's, showing also even with the COVID, showing us that we don't have to tie ourselves to no one thing.
Right.
It's just even since now that even myself realize that, hey, Shalewa, you have more than what you think to really be out there and be a force to be reckoned with at anything that you do. Because I can hop, skip, and jump. Tara knows I don't, well, not physically, I don't know about that part, but I mean, if I put on a hat of nurse, it's going to be nurse at that time.
Right.
If it is daycare person, if it is teacher, whatever you want, I'm almost sure I'm going to fit in there.
Right.
Right? So, that's another thing as teachers where we, tie the kids down to, and we spoke about it in our conversation, just be the teacher, man. Just, we highlight these other professions. That's no more.
Right.
That's really no more. We have to be flexible. We have to do different things from the skills to whatever it is. If it's book at that time, but if you want to be something else over here, go right ahead.
Right.
But my cake brand, Chalet's Delight, soon to go more into food, catering as well, because as I said, I'm a teacher of home economics. So I have, guys, you can check me out on my Instagram, Shalewa, and you will find all my creations there. And then Chalet's Delight cakes. Now we have Jamaican rum cake that I do 365.
But hold on, you say the home is which high school you went to in Jamaica?
I went to the Veer Technical, home of all the athletes.
Boy, my Jano, Jano. Every time you talk to a Veer person, I'm Veer, not turn up like that. I'm worrying about. It's back in the day. I mean, what have you done for me lately?
We are not going there. But
Peer history lessons over here with peer history lessons.
Please
so
no.
you're from Clarendon?
Yes, I am. May pen and not play pen.
Jano. Clarendon, I'll do the thing.
Right. Yes. So merciless. You know the thing said.
And half the other artists who pass through here come from Clarendon. People don't realize that. Then think of Kingston because the studios are there. Everybody is all right.
Yeah,
Jamal, big up yourself.
All the grades. Yeah, man. Real thing.
Nice. So it's a business. It's funny. When you're in a school, I do home ec. Because when I was in high school and, by the time the girls are in home ec, we ever started some nonsense. And of course, we were the ones that sample the stuff that come out, you know what I mean?
You have to pass it, right?
Yeah, you have to pass a thing. But who knew, you know what I mean? That years later you would be... Did you know? You had a love and passion for it like that back then?
Yes, I've always had. My father and mom cultivated that as well. Cooking, especially on Sundays. Table had to be set, place had to be clean, blah, blah, blah. And then... high school, went on to do that. They spent a lot of money, so what the heck? Practical, always on point. Got awards for that as well. Went on to college, did the same thing, And then everybody know me, always hustling, always doing something.
Gotta.
Always planning all kind of things, selling from a department, making money here, there, wherever. So, but when you are now forced to be actually doing it because you have to do it, then it's a total different ball game.
Right.
Learning as you grow is a whole different ball game. You are not known as no entrepreneur. You are known as Teacher Shalewa. Teacher Miss Shay, or Miss Henry.
Right.
But now you have to wear a different cap, yes, and present yourself now as a business person. Right? And all of these things. So it has been a journey, a wonderful one of stories. At one point I had to be used in my friend's house because of other circumstances where people try to pull you down when you have to still rise.
Right.
And still go ahead and let them see that, hey, it's not going to be right here, it's going further. So look out for major things to happen. So yes, so right now, the cakes, this is the rum cake.
I love the energy. You're a cameraman, you so look for the thing, yo.
That's the rum cake,
Jano.
and it's a steel. I'm letting everybody know.
John, what my camera? John, no. Ladies and gentlemen, I think pretty like, oh, I get. Chalet's Delight. I'm going to say it to the voice. I put the voice on. Chalet's Delight. Jamaican fruitcakes. 754-715-8716. That's what we'll say. Think proper. Look, ladies and gentlemen. And what's the other one?
The next collection is my banana cake.
I know.
And currently have them in 7 different flavors. So one a day, guys, good for you.
Chalet's Delight. Banana cake.
Just like that.
Made with real bananas.
Right?
You know what
No
I mean?
flavor.
Highlight that.
Straight.
I know if I want to eat banana cake and not one banana.
I know it.
I'm just saying.
I know it. And that's the other thing we can touch on as well, G Cole.
Please.
That, hey, we go into these big stores and we're expecting that, oh, the person down the road who is making it can sell it for the same dollar. Guys, get with yourselves. They're making these things out of a dime. We're trying to just come out into something that is going to be bigger. So be supportive.
Right.
You know, you're getting the real thing.
Real bananas.
Yeah. All they're putting in those things are just flavoring. You know, and
Real rum.
Hey.
Ah,
Real rum.
yes, real rum, real raisin, real prune, real cherry.
But
Real cake.
you know, I had this conversation with my daughter the other day when we were talking about ginger ale, and I'm like, for the most part, there's a lot of things in ginger ale. Guess what I ain't at? Ginger. But so you're so right. It's like, be very careful.
Yeah.
Support your local businesses. Small business operations are important, and you know, because of the fact that you are the person, you're named upon it, you get the best quality that way, because quality assurance comes right at your door. If it not right, them a call shit. Then if you when big business are do them thing, ain't no mister.
No, there's no middleman here.
Yeah.
Straight to.
Mad things. So we got cakes. You said 7 different flavor banana cake.
7 different flavors in the banana cake, guys. So you know it's not no fluke.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get that
The
anywhere
play
else.
thing.
We have it in banana rum, banana raisin, banana cranberry, banana cherry.
Cool, no, man.
So
Banana.
regular banana.
And there's one thing that I must add. It's not a on the corner business, it's a registered business.
See it there?
As well as my business is also registered. So she has the banana cake and the fruit cake. I have the lovely pineapple upside down cake that you want and all those things. The drops, the greater cake, I do all of that.
Chano.
If you have a baby shower, call me. If you have a birthday, call me.
Chano.
The jerk chicken, the oxtail, all of that. We do catering.
Jano, me can't make eye
Lovely.
contact with you. Come, me just put on a phone. Me just put on a phone just to listen to you talk a while ago. I swear to God. I swear to God.
You see where we definitely going with this collaboration as sisters
I love it.
in success and in entrepreneurship.
I love it.
So that's the cake business for one. That's where it started. And then again, during the stimulus check time, again a little bit into COVID and or so, they were paying out this. And I said, I'm a Facebook. I wasn't a Facebook person, and Tara said, Shall you can't be like that now, you know. Tara, you remember that conversation? You can't be like that now, you know. You're a business person. You have to be. I said, what are you saying? What are you saying? I don't have time for that. Yeah, man, go back and revamp your Facebook and stuff. So I went over there, guys.
So
Alright.
you're on Facebook now?
That was always on there, but you know, it was fast, but them time there.
I gotcha.
And even so, really and truly, I wasn't even using it. Let me say that.
Right.
You know, and then she prompted me and said, go over there. You're on business now, so, you know, do your thing. All right, Shelley, we'll go over there. Fine. Yeah, okay, I'm here. You know. All right, so stimulus came out. I'm on Facebook. Some ad passed. Do you want to have a business in travel? I said, that's me, of course. I need money here and I need to start traveling. You know, you just enough. But fast forward a year, this business has been tremendous to me.
Wow.
You know, I'm a licensed and bonded travel agent or advisor, if you want that, with my host company, IntelliTravel, and my marketing company, Planet Marketing. So what we do is really sell travel, where you get to have your own travel agency where G Cole, if you wanted to start right now, I sign you up. You put your handsome face on there. People click on your link, book wherever they want to go in Jamaica, and books. You get paid.
It's like, dang.
Just like that. So, what could be easier than me staying in my bed? Somebody call me. Shalewa, hey, you know, I want to go to Damrep.
Right.
Yes, I have hotels there, of course. What do you think is only Jamaica? I don't know, man. Yes.
And a Glenmere go there.
Ronnie, but them, you see?
They're no longer there.
So hold on. So you're a nurse, teacher, a baker, travel agent. Jano. I'm going to court and see you in there.
We can find 2 more, put 2 together.
Of course, and I'm mom as well. And
love that.
Yes. So many hats, but we have to do what we have to do to survive.
Right. Got it.
You know, we have to do what we have to do to survive. So yes, my business, my name on site is Shall We Travel and Cruises, where you can definitely call me. G Cole said it, 754-715-0716 to book all your travels. It doesn't matter where it is in the world. I can definitely help you out with that. Prices to meet just about every pocket as well. And guess what? How this business work is that just about everything in travel. So if you need a car, you don't need to run up and down and wonder. Click on my link. You see cars. You know,
Shall We Travel?
Right? My link name is shalewahenry.intellitravel.com, and you find everything there. So as I said, if you need a car to rent, currently we know we have a lot of sporting events happening. You can book your tickets there, movie tickets, whatever it is, you know, sporting tickets. And the best thing of all, as I said, guys, we earn, or you will get to earn, commissions from this. So it's not, I know a lot of persons, especially teachers, always planning trips here, always planning the trips to go here, there, and everywhere. And what?
Come summer,
come winter.
Right.
You know, we're still fighting to carry out our own selves. But even if you book your own self, if I book my own self, I get paid. You can't get any better than that.
Mad. It don't.
So, you know,
Just
whether it's group trip, destination, wedding, honeymoon, congratulations, whatever you want to call it. And it's the sexiest industry in the world, guys. Like,
travel.
I don't need to do anything at all. People call me. Up to yesterday, a young lady called me. I didn't do anything. I just post 2 pictures on my timeline. And somebody called me.
Wow.
You know? Even Tara today, she was like, why you put that pool up? Like, I'm ready to jump in.
Hey, serves its purpose, right? Serves its purpose.
Yeah, so...
And when you travel, you never know. Might be able to get you a banana cake up there. I mean,
you could carry your own personal chef.
own chef. John, no.
Just like that.
But definitely, the business, you know, it was pretty easy to start. Took just about 15 minutes.
Right.
Was up and running. And everything is presented to you. You don't have to go and do a website for yourself because that's expensive. And to upkeep it and all of these things. Everything, G Cole. When I mean your face is ready, once you have your nice picture to upload, you upload your picture, you call it G Cole Travel.
Cool, no, man. I'm a face make for OnlyFans thing, so I can't put it You can't go up there, no.
Take your time.
John, no.
Multifaceted.
John, no.
That's what it's about around here.
Right, so definitely a side hustle, because I know everybody nowadays, when you check on YouTube, wherever you're checking at, everybody's talking about how can I make some extra money from this side hustle. This side hustle is definitely one that you want to be a part of. If you want to grow as a person, then this is where you want to be. If you want to grow as an entrepreneur, this is where you want to be. 24-hour training. Whenever you want, wherever you want. In your sleep, out of sleep, on the road, in a bus, in a car. This is where it's at. You know, every time that somebody sees you going about your own travel business, you know, time to time, when I don't feel to cook, and Tara knows I love to cook. Everybody knows I love to cook. A party in a hotel, oh, Shalewa, you're a travel agent. Just go over there and eat some breakfast, man. I do that.
Hold on, I say y'all move.
Yes,
I
because
say y'all
no,
Yeah,
G-Code, the
for
thing is you're an insider. You're no longer a customer. So when
Right.
I call a hotel and I say Shalewa Henry travel agent, it's a different approach than you calling to say customer. You know?
Right.
So the red carpet is laid out. Everything is now top tier for you because guess what? You are selling my product. So
In the biz.
I have to treat you well
Right.
so that it becomes advertisement. I'm gonna talk about it. Everybody's doing it anyway.
Right.
They go out, oh, let me take my food first.
Right.
Oh,
Snap the thing.
Yeah. Let me pose at the Hilton. Let me do this. Let me do that.
Promote things for free.
Right. You're doing it for free, so why not get paid for it?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense.
Definitely.
I'm gonna need to drop y'all social media on this thing so that people can't keep up with it.
Multiple streams of income. Definitely, this is what it's about. So if you want to get in the game, start earning from what you're already doing, then definitely hit me up. G Cole will have all the information. But as I said, you can definitely call me or email whatever at Shalewa Henry. Shall We Travel and Cruises 754-715-0716. Let me go a little bit slower. 754-715-0716.
You know, I'll tell you this. First of all, thank you so much for the info. My band, when I was in a marching band, them always say, anytime then tell you if you slow down the music, you people play softer. You ever notice it? So you decide to say I talk slower, you get softer. I don't know why you put the two together. But, ladies and gentlemen, shall we travel? And at the end of the, I'm going to go in and edit the notes there, show notes, and I'm going to put the information up on there. I'm also put this episode on the podcast. Not all the episodes make it to the podcast, but this one I go up on iTunes and Spotify everywhere and people for hear it.
Definitely.
Talk to me, Tara. It's got to get English accent in there, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anytime you think turn up loud, you know what I mean? Start talking like this.
It would be so remiss of me not to mention my publisher.
Big up the publisher.
Gianna Smith, bottle writer. The best.
Gianna Smith?
Yes.
Is
that's her
in a
name.
relation?
No.
So like insider trading?
Sister.
Oh, so like some Martha
But
Stewart stuff
not
going on here.
blood, but
No?
sister.
Okay.
Is a wonderful individual. Wonderful publisher. So if you have even a little idea in your head, she will help you to bring that out. If you love poems, she'll help you to put that together in a nice poetry book. You understand me? If you love rhymes, if you love
you love sauce.
motivational thoughts, you know.
If you love recipes like myself, I'm
anything.
Y'all publish it?
Yes.
into that. Yes.
No, publish
She
people
is
business
the
doing
person-
it. People love publish
No,
people
but
business.
we can do that too, because sometimes you publish
Yes, sir.
people business is a lesson. You understand?
The views of Tara Smith does not represent those of Homegrown With G Cole at Jamaicans.com.
Definitely.
I'm just saying. Disclaimer. All right?
Can we edit that part out?
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
But I love it.
You know, sometimes
Trust
let
me.
us be
Trust
realistic. We learn from some of those stuff.
Hey,
all
trust
right?
me.
So, if you have any idea as to something that you want to put in black and white, I have the perfect publisher for you, Gianna Smith. You can search for her. She's on all the platforms, from TikTok to Instagram to anything. Snap, Twitter, whatever you can. But if you, just in case, you can't find her. If you find me, you find her. You understand me? She is easy to work with, truthful, and she'll guide you the best way possible.
She tell you your stuff's trash if it's trash.
Yes, and she will tell you. She does not dictate to you, but she'll guide you.
She said this
Trust
is
me.
whack.
Yes.
Yeah?
If that is it, she'll gently tell you we have to fix this part or so on. But you know, this is my first time working with her, but I am already going for the second time. So I don't think I could get it better than this. Gianna Smith. And in the same breath, there are some people who you meet, and I think people, God put them in your path for a reason.
Absolutely.
Empress Unique.
Big up yourself.
Large up your
Right there.
status.
Big up.
DJ Marlon.
Large up.
Blessings
Big up.
galore.
Large up.
And I'm just taking this opportunity to say thanks to you guys. I'm not going, I don't know if you want me to out you out. Like that.
Put it out there, man.
Yeah. But
Put it
you
on,
see,
make Gina publish thing.
when I'm calling Empress because I know you have something to put out there. And of course, but those people, I met them not so long ago.
Right.
And when I tell you those two people,
Awesome. folks.
even when I was doing my book launch, those two people, they drove all the way from here to Port Charlotte. DJ Marlon with his music.
To the realest people, I can vouch.
You understand me? Empress Unique was there, care. And I'm just saying thanks to you guys. Oweda Genas. And all the other people. I'm not going to name everybody because you are people who have always been there. But these people I just met.
Right.
And to see them just push forward and support without you asking.
Awesome, folks. Trust me, I can vouch for that.
I really
Vouch for
do
that.
appreciate you guys.
I'm glad you didn't call the names because when they call
Ozzy,
out 5
Gilmore
names,
Jarrett, large up your status.
so you don't carry him. So I'm large up in stage and stay in yard.
No, me love him and leave him. Up there. I know he's listening.
Obviously, I come from the road in nah, man.
No, man, he was unable. That's the only reason that he's not present. He was unable to do so because of work.
Kind of like William. But it's a whole different.
Yeah, but blessings to you, my sisters and brothers, my daughter Brianna, mommy Sonia.
She watching.
Oh yes, I know they're bad. She can
Aww.
ball, you see.
Aww. Well,
So
listen.
my daughter said, I could not.
Okay.
But you guys, Javen, Casey, and Nardan,
I love it.
Anatavia, Anik, Ashani, Romaine. Did I miss anybody?
Shalewa.
That time when you start
Jeffrey
calling
Smith.
name and you figure it's your name and then vex it later.
Those are all siblings. Did I say Nardan? If I say Nardan again, that's it. But
I favorite that.
yeah, no, listen, don't set me up.
I didn't favorite that.
Don't set me
I
up.
see what time it is.
Bread up pie in my heartbeat.
Drop your social media for the folks who just joining us, please.
So, it's Tara Smith on Instagram and Facebook. I do YouTube. I have 2 channels.
Tara
A cooking
Smith-Jarret.
channel. Yes, Tara Smith-Jarret. Lord Jesus. Tara Smith-Jarret
Left the man of yard, I forget the name too. Channel.
Tara Smith-Jarret on Facebook and Instagram. On YouTube, it's Tara J's Blogs and Dialogues. And on the cooking channel, is TJ's Delicious Cooking. Over TikTok, it's Tara Smith. I not even remember over TikTok.
It's cool now, man. Listen, find me on Facebook and
But if you find me on Facebook, you'll find me everywhere else. And as I say, the information with the webinar and so, I'll put it out there for those of you who are interested. You can just message me, Instagram, Facebook, and you can have the details. You can contact me to, let me slow it down, 941
See your volume gone down too?
467 5607.
One more time.
941 467 5607. That's the number to call. Or you can email me at tarafsmith@yahoo.com or taraffsmith@gmail.com. We'll put information and get you.
I get a lot. But I'm gonna ask you to send me the info and I'll put it up here too. Miss Veer, tell the people them your social media one more time.
Okay,
And it ain't
guys.
Veer at Facebook.com.
Okay, guys. So to find me for everything and anything just about in cakes and travel. So for travel, let me go at shallwetravelandcruises@gmail.com or my link for booking is shalewahenry.intellitravel.com. My phone again 754-715-0716 and for Facebook that's my name Shalewa Henry. Instagram it's Shale_wa21 for Instagram. My businesses, that's for travel, it's Shall We Travel and Cruises. So just type in anything Shalewa, guys, and you will definitely, if you want to Google it as well, you will find me. And G Cole, big up yourself. You'll have the information.
Large
Sure,
Yeah, man.
share.
Just forward it to me and I'll share it to the masses.
Yes, And Mr. Husband just responded and said, yes, I'm listening.
Man,
so
see that?
Gilmore Jarrett, large up yourself, sweetheart.
Them left your yard and forget all your name too.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Listen, I want to thank you both ladies for passing through. It's one of them days where sometimes we have to go over, but it's a dope day to go over a conversation. You get that 2 for 1. You get the combo. You know what I mean?
Thanks for having us.
The pleasure is indeed mine. And again, good luck with all the endeavors. It's already a blessing. I know things are going to go the way it's supposed to go. The book, make sure someone will get the book.
Yep. Blow up Amazon.
Blow up Amazon. Make the thing turn up. And here's the thing. A lot of time when it comes to books and stuff like that, it ain't about you. So at the end of the day, sometimes you just need to buy the book and just hand it off to somebody.
That's true.
Who needs to read it.
Gift it.
You know what I mean? Gift it to somebody who you don't need to read it.
Same thing with the cakes too. Just gift it.
Gift the cake them to G. Gift the cake them.
To G Cole.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They're available, guys.
I'm
Shipping
just
available
saying.
as well. It doesn't matter. Christmas is coming. So
No.
get your orders in.
Yeah, the baby showers, bar mitzvahs, divorces.
We ship to different states. That's what we do.
Oh, you ship?
Yes, we ship to different states.
Jano.
New York, wherever you are.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, get your cakes on. Get your food on. But more than anything else, also get your read on, all right?
Yes.
Knowledge is power, and there's a lot of knowledge in this book.
Trapped in Freedom.
Trapped in Freedom by Tara Smith-Jarret. All right? We're going to hyphenate the name, guys. You know how to read. Tara Smith-Jarret. Of course, make it be. Things that we can. I gotta do this.
Yes.
I told you I was going to wild out.
Tara Smith-Jarret. That's the name. Let me put it up in the camera so you can see.
Hold on, my camera on. So
Yes, the name is right at the top. Please remove your fingers, Mr. Cole, so you don't cover it up. Tara Smith-Jarret.
She's legit. She's legit. Ozzy, she legit. Think that on the back. Yeah, cool.
My beautiful face.
Cool, no, man. I dig it. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you all so much. It's been a dope day. We got to run. All right? But again, hit us up everywhere at my G Cole, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and all that good stuff. Radio Land, thank you so much for everybody tuning into radio. You weren't able to watch, but you're able to listen. It was a vibe. Go YouTube and check it out. We got to go.
Nakikinika sa música, Homegrown with G Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G Cole.
What you know about shop down a square and ridge? What you know about river? What you know about bridge? This is when the worldwide New York and big from Florida to Canada, Jamaica. St. Mary Jobs in that of my